guys like DIRECT are heroes. No doubt about it. Press NH now, he's back. And that dude is literally one of the best out there. Both those guys are just amazing at what they do. But I hate to admit it. You know what's crazy too is like, DIRECT has 350,000 subscribers. His newest video or whatever has 13,000 views after 8 days. Now he has many videos that have over 100,000 views, millions of views, no doubt. That's what comes from the work that he's put in, to some degree. Because, you know, I just can't help but ask, why doesn't YouTube do to them what they do to us, or to me? You know, you're a dumbass, I guess, or you're a bot, or you're a shill, or you're a bootlicker, you're whatever it is. You're not a real life, decent human being, one of us person, if you, sorry, I changed the channel, lost my train of thought. You're not a real good person if you, what was I gonna say? Oh, well, I don't know. But I look at it, and it reminds me of, you ever wonder why, I think about so many videos I've seen where the cops come in and they're just beating everybody down in a group. They're arresting everyone, they're doing whatever they want, except for the guy with the camera. The guy with the camera is inexplicably allowed to continue filming, well knowing that that footage will get to the internet, and knowing that potentially those people could be held accountable. Yeah. You know Nick's out of the room? Yes. Okay. Thanks for telling. You know, these guys are allowed to exist. They're allowed to keep filming, knowing it's going, because they, and knowing that it could lead to severe, you know, complications, accountability, all that shit. You know, there could be a huge uproar for what the cops are doing. And a lot of times there is. What? At 9 in the morning on a Saturday? Not even at 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday? What time do we leave? What time do we get to leave the house in the morning? There you go. But you know. But they also know that it really doesn't matter. You know, if they get in trouble or whatever, any sort of lawsuit, any sort of financial accountability is paid for by us. And let's say they do get fired or whatever it may be, they just get hired by a different agency almost immediately. When they get in trouble, they basically get paid vacations, you know. They get put on leave or whatever, but they still get paid. And so these cops walk around with an incredible sense of entitlement, knowing that there's no repercussions for what they do. And so DIRECT has a video from a couple days ago that is, the title is something along the lines of like, it's a video about how one lawmaker is challenging this notice because the system is trying to push through law that says that they are allowed to speed and all that stuff, and they're not to be held accountable. They're trying to push laws like that through. Can you do me a big favor? Go downstairs and get a couple of rolls of toilet paper, please. Thank you. And it's you know, there's 3 examples in the video of how cops pull over a senator, a congressman, or chief of police, something, and you know, they're speeding. One broad was doing 71 and a 35. Double the speed limit is felony shit. You know, that's felony. You get arrested, you get your car towed. You know, there's no sympathy on that one. And yet, oh yeah, dude, Mrs., you're not going out today. No, they don't need to come here when you're sick. Although I don't believe it that way, so I don't believe that germs are shared that way and such. But I you know, so this video is a compilation of these stories of government officials being let off. And the reality is, I would have never known about those stories. I would have never, you know, known about the legislation and all that. It's based out of Arizona. Morning, Matt. And I again, truth is sexy, right? You could be mad at me all you want. You could say you're not going to come back. But where are you going to go to find somebody that says what I say? Something that rings true inside of you where you know there's no like nefarious agenda. I'm very open and transparent in what I do. Anyway, this video, it's showing everybody like me out in Detroit, out in wherever, yet another example of the cops getting away with whatever they want. And so I can't help but ask. Like, there's a couple of reasons, actually, I think this happens, but look at what's done to my feed. DIRECT has a video about the FBI showing up at someone's house because they were a social media post. And there are videos like that all over the place. Why haven't they stopped by my house? Why haven't they come to talk to me? I mean, I'm adamant about kicking the Jays out of this country. I'm adamant about cutting off everything with Israel. I'm very adamant about that. I'm also adamant about, you know, getting rid of qualified immunity for the pigs. I can't stand them. I can't stand that shit. Like, I'm all for cops. I think cops are heroes. But it's hard to even feel that way because I truly believe there are no good cops. And I know a lot of people will say, you know, how can you say, blah, there are plenty run into buildings with the people on fire and da-da-da-da. Yeah, that shit's great. That's their job. They're not heroes for doing their job. But the reality is, if there were actually good cops, if there was even one good cop, there wouldn't be any bad cops. Because that one good cop would clean them out. But you don't see that. And so I can't help but, you know, there's an ego involved in everything, right? And of course, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my feed. You know, DIRECT is supposedly on the run, like hiding from police. I don't know how that works, but that's the last I heard. It could be different now, but he was for a long time. And yet he's allowed to have a YouTube channel, a very popular YouTube channel. And it's like someone like him, I don't know if he's gonna acknowledge that. Like, dude, you're allowed to exist. What you do is fantastic, and what you do is a necessity. But if the system didn't want you to do what you do, they would do what they do to me. You know, you can go back to January 28 and post January 28 on my feed, and you'll see a tremendous difference in the numbers. You know, I'm looking at DIRECT and I'm thinking, man, you know, other than the big videos, like your smaller videos, you have 300,000 more subscribers than me, and I'm still getting reasonably decent views. 13, you know, most we got in that little period was like 23 or something like that, 22,000. And I did it like immediately. I started my series, Submarines Aren't Real, and that shit blew up. And all it is me talking. It's not me showing you what's going on. It's not me confronting the situation face to face. It's not me putting my ass on the line like these guys do. I have so much respect for what they do. They have a much bigger set of balls than I do. And I hide behind, you know, I have kids and a family and this, that, and the other. And that is the reason why I don't do more, but you know, those guys do too, and they still get out there and do that shit. And so me being me, I have to do it this way. I can't just sit there and watch it and go, yeah, that's great, look at that. I have to ask why it's allowed to exist. And I've thought this way for a long time. Like, there's two sort of main things. One is to show off how we get violated and that they have no accountability. You know, you can see all the videos you want. All those people and all those cops and all those videos are still working, still living great lives, still fucking with people. The other thing they do, those videos embolden dumbasses like me. The reason why DIRECT is so fucking good, the reason why Press NH Now is so good, auditing Erie County, is because they take the time to be that good. They've learned inside and out. They know more than the cops know. That's what gives you confidence. That's why I'm appealing in what I talk about, because I'm confident knowing that what I'm saying is the truth. If I was sitting here trying to sell you porky pies, you'd be able to tell. You know? I wouldn't be able to successfully pull off the ruse. I always use the example of, I used to be one of those door-to-door meat salesmen, you know. Freezer in the back of a pickup, you knock on the door. Hey, I was delivering a meat load to one of the real nice hotels around here, and they accidentally overloaded the truck. So I asked the boss what I should do, and he said, you know, don't bother bringing it back. See if you can sell it for, you know, some money. See if you can make a few bucks. So, hey, I got this great restaurant quality box of steaks that I'll let you have for, you know, $3 a steak. And I was the best at it. Well, I was the second best. Second best. Kenny Bartholomew was the best. That piece of shit. I know a lot of you might know Kenny Bartholomew, but he's a piece of shit. And I was great at the job until and we used to eat the food all the time. You know, we used to bring a box of steaks home all the time, or bring home a package of steak. You know, you take one of the steaks out of the box before you sell it, whatever. And so I would, one time I brought home a package of the steak burgers. Now, whether it was due to the poor practices, the shitty practices of the company I worked for, because the freezers on the back of the trucks are filled with dry ice cubes. They're not refrigerated electrically. They have dry ice inside them. And by the end of a long, hot day, those frozen meats in that cooler, well, they're not quite as frozen as they were. So then you put them in the big cooler overnight and they freeze back up. And sometimes there's no telling how many times that's happened. Sometimes, I mean, the reality is those steaks that come to your house, those on the bed, all they're doing is, the butcher, they sell all the scraps to these companies and they press the meat into the shapes you want to see. So they press it into the fillet. They press it into the strip's shape. And you think that's a real strip or a real, it's not. So who knows what kind of nastiness is in that. But I ate one of the burgers one night, and I honestly think if I wasn't in my early 20s and a fucking drug addict who partied all the time, I probably would have died. But because I drank so much that night that I ate the burgers, I'm sure that alcohol killed a lot of what ended up getting me sick. I wouldn't have been surprised if I got E. coli from it.
Did you puke from drinking? So it got some of that out too?
I mean, it's me, so probably.
I think that would get some of that steak out of this, just what I was thinking.
But I was in, it was like June or July in San Diego. It was like a heat wave, and I was sitting in my house with multiple layers of clothing on, under blankets, shivering for like 2 weeks. I was so fucking sick. And like I say, I mean, it probably would have killed me if I was an older person or a kid or something. And that knowledge, that knowing that I got sick selling the product, meant I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't just sell people a product that I knew could potentially kill their children, them, whatever. And I went from being one of the top salesmen in the company to not selling shit and then quitting. I probably worked another week or two before I was like, I just can't do this anymore. So I'm not the type that can just lie to you guys. I can't sit here and just make up narratives for you guys and be convincing about it. What fuels my appeal is the confidence, the truth. And that's what Direct D, Press NH Now, these guys have that confidence because they know they're right. They know that as long as they go in front of a judge and the judge isn't totally corrupt, that legally they can't be held accountable for whatever bullshit the cop tried to make up that day. Whoa, he looks awful J-ish, doesn't he? Gotta love how the bad guys in so many shows have a very J look to them, doesn't he? Look at that nostrils. Look at that nose. Built for glasses. Nice ridge right there. You know the one I have? My clearly J nose. And so you have these guys like Direct D who end up making it look easy, who punk the cops and make them look like scared little bitches, and they start talking, double talking and stumbling, and you see Direct D talking shit to him, fuck you, blah blah blah, and cops don't do anything, and you think, man, I could do that. It always reminds me of Dave Chappelle. And I know I say some of these things a lot, but there are a lot of people that don't see it. So Dave Chappelle, a couple of years back, did a tour, a comedy tour. And at the end of the tour, or at the end of each show, he would come out on stage and he would allow people to ask questions for 10, 20 minutes, whatever. And so he's doing his thing, and this younger Indian guy stands up. And he's American, but he's Indian by descent. And he stands up and says, do you have any tips for somebody that maybe wants to give this a try? And Dave's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I've never done comedy before, but you make it look so easy. I think I want to give it a try. And Dave said, I don't know whether I should be, that's a compliment or if I should be offended. And the reality is it was a compliment. When you make things look so easy, average Joe Plumber thinks he can do it, you're doing the right thing. And that's what DIRECT does. That's what Press NH Now does. Is they create a false sense of confidence in your average everyday person, which ends up getting them arrested, getting them more charges, making more money for the revenue service. The police, the revenue service, the revenue generators. Because you don't know enough to be able to confront them. You look at DIRECT and you don't think that's a guy who sat there and read a bunch of shit. He looks like a guy who's never read a book in his life. But then you hear him speak and he's clearly articulate. He's clearly educated. And that's what's going to separate him from you. But you're not going to realize that until it's too late. So it really does come down to, again, and that's what I was thinking watching the video, is like, look at my channel. If anybody can explain to me how prior to January 28th, this feed was allowed to average between anywhere from 3,000 to 15,000, with as many as 20,000 at some point. How other than interference at the source, how does that happen? That's not how social media works. You don't build yourself up to suddenly it just disappears and really, it can't even be based on something I've done, because I'm doing the same thing I've always done. I'm doing the same thing that I was doing that brought those people here to begin with. Only every day that passes, I'm more right than I was yesterday. No, I can't do First Amendment audits on police. If I could do that, then I absolutely could hold down a job. But I can't. It's, I know people don't believe it, but I'm in too much constant pain to be out doing shit like that. I know my limitations. I wish I could. Fucking A, I wish I could. I wish I wasn't hurt. If I wasn't hurt, I'd be out there. If I wasn't hurt, I'd be out there every day, right in front of the Adat Shalom Cemetery, proudly protesting Israel and doing everything I can to win my 2028 presidency and kick these fucking pieces of shit out of the country. If I could do more, I would do more. It's pretty simple. I was thinking about it today, how much I wish, when I was a teenager, I had a directee or any of those guys showing me. Because I absolutely could have sued the shit out of Northville police. Absolutely. When I got pulled over for having a BB gun in my car, and then was given unlawful use of a firearm. And they pulled me out and they handcuffed me and had me face down with my hands behind my back for like 20 minutes on the ground, where they came and they you know, didn't kick me per se, but came and like stuck their boot up under my face, you know, doing one of those kind of like nudging me with their shoe. And one of them spit in my hair. I would have had a huge lawsuit. We had a huge audience, a bunch of people pulled over to watch it all happen. Nowadays, those people would have phones. It would have gone viral. Beef, what's happening? But you look at, you know, you have to ask yourself, why doesn't DIRECT get a January 28th? Why doesn't Press NH now? Why doesn't YouTube shut these fools down? Not fools, shut these guys down, these heroes down. And why do they get paid to do what they do? I'm pretty sure my shit was, you know, my channel was getting to that point where I was going to start getting paid, which is why they did what they did. You know, if you look at the consistent views from like Submarines Aren't Real Part 1 to Submarines Aren't Real Part 75 or some shit, you're going to see numbers that don't make sense. They don't make sense for somebody that has, you know, 1,100 subscribers at the time. I think I'm at like 1,600 now or something. Mine was fitting to be, you know, it was on its way to me being one of those bigger internet personalities, at least, you know, getting paid for it. And the continued growth, even more importantly, the continued growth. You know, you just, it doesn't make sense that you would have thousands of videos and then suddenly not. Or thousands of views and then suddenly not. If you're still here, then, you know, I'm not lying. I don't want to say it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. It just doesn't fit the narrative. You know? It doesn't fit the narrative that January 28th, something happened. And my you know, my page goes from being what it was to what it is. It makes sense. You know, they shut it down. They fear me. They worry. You know, it's one thing for some guy like DIRECT to almost, you know, be distracted by what's going on. He's talking about things on a local level. You know, Arizona state bullshit. January 28th to change. Yeah, go look. Go look at my previous videos. You'll see a significant difference between either January 27th and 28th or January 28th and 29th. I can't remember which one it is. I know 28th is the day. I don't know if 28th is the day that it first dropped or it was the last day that it was allowed to exist. It is what it is. And especially considering what I was talking about, what I do, and what is happening in the world. You know, there should be countless people finding me, you know, stumbling across my shit, coming back here and answering and asking, you know, holy shit, dude, you've been saying this for years and now it's finally coming true and it's just getting worse and worse. And yeah, you know, you're right. The food and gas prices haven't gone down. And yeah, you're right. Trump did make everything worse for the Palestinians. And holy shit, they're going to be fucking, they're going to ethnically cleanse. Trump is talking about ethnic cleansing at this point. You know, like I told you,
Stop that.
You never have more than 10. Right. I never have more than 10. Like that level of stupidity, right? Me claiming I'm censored because I have 10 viewers. Unlike all those other people that claim they're censored with hundreds of viewers.
Don't do it.
You know, there were some videos that had over 500 viewers at one time.
No.
The comments were coming so fast I couldn't keep up with them. But to think that you know, that nothing like that's not the example of the censorship. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here selling porky pies. Again, anybody can go look. You can go look. The proof is right there. Go look. 300-400 views regularly. And then what? Now we get less than 10 because I changed something up. At the exact same point, every single person was like, yeah, you know what? I know the world's doing everything that he said it was going to do, but fuck that. I'm going to go back to watching, you know, feet videos or some shit. Do you remember it always used to be hundreds? Exactly. So how do you explain it? I'd love to hear other explanations as to, you know, this isn't how it works. You know, I should be a lot more upset about it than I am because, you know, they're taking my American dream, my J dream away from me. You know, you work hard, you're consistent, you do a good job. Your business will grow and grow until you're in a position to where you're good to go. And that's what was happening. My shit was growing and growing until what? What happened? I'm not subbed and you keep popping up. Yeah. But you're the only one, huh? Definitely worth the lives. You'll learn a lot. I'm subscribed, so easy to find. Not true. Matt's been subscribed. Matt will tell you for the last few days he's had a hard time finding my feed. Knowing I was live, went to look, and there was nothing telling him I was live. He had to, like, try again or go back to it or whatever. And he should be getting a notification. Hey, YouTube, I want notifications when this guy goes live. Hit the bell, blah, blah, blah. Ding, ding, ding. And yet, for some reason, that's not happening. For some reason, the computer isn't working right. Yeah, it keeps changing, hiding the lives and pushing his channel down under other names, like the 20th one down. I have less than 15 channels I'm subbed to. So explain it, guys. You know, you guys always sort of do the thing where you try to find the other explanation, no matter how kind of goofy it may be. So give me it. What did I do? What am I doing differently? How did I, you know, how does someone that you watch every single day, you watch hours of every day, more so than you watch the other people you're subscribed to, how does that person's feed get pushed all the way down? How does it happen? You know, I turn on my YouTube and DirectD shit is right there. Rob the Predator. Oh, that's good. Just saying your content isn't up my alley, so you kind of seems like the opposite of censored. Yep, it absolutely does. Says Rob the Predator. Gross. You're right, man. You actually can't explain it because look at this now. There are no trolls today. Wonder why. Maybe Jorge took the day off. Well, I've always, I mean, Saturday is the Sabbath. Especially early Saturday morning, they are much less likely to be here than they are any other day.
Yeah.
I want to order Cuphead
Same, I won't subscribe to you, but you show up every morning. Sure, sure. And the thing, yeah, maybe, dude. We'll see what's up, okay? The other thing is, we have to. What? Do you guys just believe the trolls that come through here? These trolls that come through every day and watch for hours, yet claim they don't like me, and I'm just showing up despite my best efforts. You show up on my feed, and then I watch you for hours. I hate it so much. How does that make sense? And again, you have, pieces of shit Trump supporters. How can they can't justify anything? At this point, it's shocking that Trump hasn't alienated even his own constituency yet. The whole America First bullshit, while we funnel money into Israel. Like just funnel it. You just have no fucking idea how much money they get. Money and weapons and then how much money we have to pay other places to play nice with Israel. Nothing to do with Trump. Of course it has something to do with Trump. I fucking told you guys. Trump will take over. Once Trump takes over, once Trump gets into office, it will be shortly thereafter that my feed is compromised. It's literally what happened. And any of you that continue to support Trump, like, you're a piece of shit. There's just no way around it. You're a dumb, dumb piece of shit if you support Trump. Why you would support this doofus over Biden is just a joke. They're the same doofus. Bruh, I'm a regular and I'm not subscribed, but the channel is still pushed to me. Sure, and we have to believe you because Diddy23 is a believable profile. Man, it's better than dealing with gender delusions. Yeah, because we have a bigot here. A dumb bigot who probably has some gay stuff or some trans stuff that they just refuse to deal with. So they instead attack. Gender delusions. What a fucking clown. What a willing clown. What a willingly distracted fucking, dumbass and a bigot. And look at all the shit that they say. I mean, it's not like they have all these great comments and then there's this one thing. Focus is on Russia these days. Well, that's how it works. They give us the things that we focus on. They tell us what to see and we see it. I just understand my biology. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. If you understood your biology and you were a confident, secure male, you wouldn't give a shit. You'd hope that people like that find each other and live happily. I wish Trump would support Ukraine more. Of course you do. Because you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Why should anyone care about Ukraine whatsoever? America first. Why should we care about Ukraine? What does Ukraine supply us? What is lost if Russia takes over Ukraine, blah, blah. Why do you think we care about Ukraine so much? It just happens to be one of the largest J populations in the region, especially Kiev. But I'm sure that has nothing to do with it, right? Like it's a level of stupid that it's embarrassing how it can be put on us so consistently, like so thick. And people are like, yeah, no, dude, Ukraine, dude. It's all bullshit. We support Ukraine, who is the victim of the big bad, which is Russia. Now, I can't remember. Am I supposed to be scared of Russia? Isn't Russia supposed to be America's equal superpower, blah, 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 blah? Then why can't Russia take Ukraine? Kiev, of all places? I mean, it's full of J's. who are cowardly, weak. You know, Russia should just be able to annihilate Ukraine really easily. Like, not even a question. Just, you know, should have been an afterthought. And yet, on the other side, when the Jays are the big bad and they're being the aggressor and the genocide, you know, the genocidal side, the side doing all of the killing, starvation, you know, denying aid, medicine, dropping, like, it's horrendous. Now, this time we support the big bad. It seems like whatever side the Jays are on is the side we support. And it's not even like you know, like, this is where I sort of propose this to you guys. Like, what's the part you're missing? You know, what don't you see here? And that's the part I just, it's obvious, right? You see it, right? It other than it being the side the Jays are on, what is it then? It's the same thing as is on my feed. I'm saying it's this thing. It's your job to either tell me, you know, I'm wrong, and then give me an alternative, or have to acknowledge that I'm right. One of the two. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. Helps out a lot. At least it should, theoretically. Or dislike. You could throw the dislikes on there too. Don't really care. It's there's no questioning what's going on here. There really isn't. And this is where it sucks, because, you know, the team or the you know, the direct Ds and the press NH Dows and whatnot, I don't know if they realize that we're fighting the same enemy. You know, it's the Jays that control the policing system, the judicial system. Generally, you're going to see a J judge. You're going to have J lawyers. We are fighting against the same enemy. You're just doing it domestically. You're just doing it on a smaller level. And you're doing it in a way where, I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter. It actually works against us. Press NH now, all those guys, they work against us. They don't make any changes happen. Sure, there is, you know, there is a slight difference in some things, like cops know they can't just arrest someone for filming like they used to all the time. But if they do, nothing will come of it. It's always been a class war. Well, that's what guys like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King said just before they got killed. You know, Patrice talks about it in his comedy special. Like, you know, Martin and Malcolm lived great lives. Well taken care of. You know, lots of money, drivers, suits, all that shit. It wasn't until Martin, you know, was like, hey, wait a minute. But see, at the same time, I think these might have been plants that went rogue, or maybe it was just part of it the whole time to kill him. Do you guys know that in 1989, the U.S. government was found guilty for assassinating or for having to do with the assassination of Martin Luther King? You're lying. Did the government kill Martin Luther King? Or they, let's see. I mean, the whole thing is where is it? William F. Pepper, 86, dies, claimed the government killed Martin Luther King. This is in the New York Times. He represented James Earl Ray and the King family. In efforts to prove that Dr. King was the victim of a conspiracy, becoming a celebrity among the conspiracy-minded. Clay Risen, that's the producer of this. The rest is just distraction. You're starting to get it, man. William F. Pepper, who was the central figure in a decades-long effort to prove that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed not by a lone gunman, but by a vast government plot. A controversial stance that made him something of a celebrity among the country's teeming subculture of conspiracy theorists. James Earl Ray shot and killed Dr. King in Memphis on April 14th. You know, I don't know how many of you guys have discovered Dick Gregory yet. But Dick Gregory is that guy, or was that guy. He was actually the first black person to win the presidential nomination, and then they took it from him. You know, they said, oh, it was the voter machines messed up. And they gave Gregory a bunch more votes than they were supposed to, and they caught it. But Dick Gregory, in the last few years of his life, well, in the last decade of his life, whatever, would do multiple interviews. You can find them all over YouTube, where he said, look, I'm rich. And I'm old. I'm going to die soon. So I use all my money, you know, fuck everybody else. I use my money to buy access to information that you don't have. And then he would disseminate it to people. You know, he would go on these podcasts and whatnot and talk all about it. He would help, but Zelensky was acting disrespectful. What a fucking stupid thing to say. Oh my God. I'm not going to help out millions of people because I felt disrespected. Yeah, that makes sense. Look at how stupid. Look at how stupid the fucking average Trump supporter is. Like, they can't give you like reasonable arguments and shit. Oh, Trump felt disrespected. Oh, it's so stupid. I've always shared most of your views. Yeah, well, I'm right. How can you not? Truth is sexy. I've said it over and over again. I'm not saying you want to fuck me, although a lot of you, I think you do. But where else are you going to go? Who else is going to not only say these things, but say them in this way? It should be shocking to the Wallies of the world, you know, to the Matts. Think about how open, truthful, honest, you know, open. Like I don't hold back. I say, think about, you know, all the things I've said and done, and the idea that there really hasn't been any reasonable opposition. Not a single fucking person. Not a single person comes in here and it's like, oh, well, you're actually wrong about this thing because of blah, 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 and there's this and there's this. It never happens. How is that possible? It's just fucking insane, man. It's insane. It's embarrassing. And it's all J shit. The problem is most of you haven't bothered to watch Hollywoodism. I reckon to be peace deal will be brokered and Zelensky will be... So you're wasting time on the distraction, huh? It's not about being disrespectful. Zelensky was attempting to negotiate the Trump's coalition of wanting the U.S. to get mineral rights in compensation for our aid. Like, it's just silly to me. You know, it's like believing that the WWE, because they did a really good job of presenting it to you, is somehow true. Oh, well, Cody did have a shiner, so they actually hit him with that. Yeah. You know, that's part of the job. Take a couple of blows, but it's not, you know, it's not because John Cena was really mad and trying to hit him, or Travis Scott or The Rock. You still haven't watched it, man. Why? You want the answers to what the fuck I'm talking about, to what you're talking about, to everything going on in this world. It is Hollywoodism. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Somebody, you watch my feed. I don't tell you to go watch this, that, and the other. If anything, go watch it and then tell me what I'm wrong about. Are you 100% skeptical of everything? I don't go into anything just believing it because my government tells me. Yeah, I'm skeptical. Why should I believe anything? You know, if my kid tells me something, okay. My wife tells me something, okay. It's like we don't think other people have the capacity to lie. We don't think our government has the capacity to lie. What are we, stupid? My views haven't come from you. Of course they haven't. All I do is reiterate and invalidate and verify what you already know. I'm not telling any secrets. I'm not some super sleuth. The only thing I do is look stuff up and read what you're already supposed to know. Nothing I talk about is some secret thing that you would have a hard time finding or anything like that. Yeah, everyone. I mean, I don't lie. What's the purpose of lying? It's going to come out. You know, it's always going to come out. So what's the purpose? Nobody matters enough for me to lie to you. You know, why would I need, like, you know, I just don't do it. It's just pointless. So when you go out to eat, you have to check the food for poison since you're not 100% sure it's safe. Yep, that's what I said. Do you understand, like, the level of stupidity it takes and desperation it takes to say that? Instead of addressing anything and sort of debunking what I'm saying, you come up with one of these, so what you're saying is? Right. Yeah. When I'm eating the same food everyone else is eating and nobody's dying from it. I know if I got bigger, I'd be much more likely to check my food knowing what they do. A guy called Meyer, the guy who invented the water-powered car, he was there. He was at the meeting where they were going to hash out the details and get this thing going. He took a bite of his food or a drink of his water or whatever. He jumped up and screamed, "They poisoned me," ran out into the street and died. And then all of his research disappeared. So you can't ever take anything at face value, but see it for yourself and let someone guide you. What you guys don't realize is you all do that. Like, What makes you think the news that you're given is the unfiltered truth? Like, this is the part where, again, this is where Hollywoodism comes into play. This is where you have to allow yourself to advance to that next stage. You really don't know shit. Just because it's presented to you one way on TV and you go, oh, I like that, doesn't mean it's true. Not all the time, but everyone has lied before. Sure, yeah, for sure. Less time being guided and more time thinking for yourself. Well, the truth is, we're a community. The whole narrative, it takes a village. I can't possibly know it all. I can't possibly see all the shit. So I need my community to not only inform me of other stuff, but also hold me accountable. If I'm getting something wrong or you see some sort, I always tell you guys, I look at this like I'm the heavyweight champion of all time. And I'm just this undefeated feeder who is just kicking the shit out of everything. So much so that nobody will actually get in the ring with me anymore. But even though that's the case, I still look at this like this is all leading up to the big championship fight. And we're in training right now. And a good champion doesn't surround himself with people who just go, yeah, everything you do is great. Everything you do is great. A good champion surrounds himself with people who are meticulous, nitpickers, who say, hey, you know, when you throw your right hand, you actually drop it an inch more than you should. Just that 1 inch gives a window in, so we gotta work on you keeping that hand up just a little bit more. You know, they say that Joe Louis lost because Schmeling, who was an inferior boxer, and it was proven in the rematch, that Schmeling saw something in Joe that he knew he could beat him. He saw that Joe dropped his hand either before he threw a punch or after he threw a punch. He dropped his hand, giving an opening. And he took advantage of that. And he also told Joe what he did after the fact, so Joe could then fix that little hole, and when he came back for the rematch, he beat his fucking ass. You know, it's about finding the little holes. But at the same time, you have to understand you're in the same boat I am. Just because you say it's a hole doesn't necessarily mean it's a hole. Just because you believe something one way or another doesn't make that true. And you have to be grown up enough and strong enough that if you say something, I don't go, yes, sir, you're right, I was wrong about that. I go, wait a minute, what about this part? What about that? You have to be able to engage. I'm not saying I trust everything from the news. Okay, so where do you draw the line? This is where your arrogance comes into play, right? And you don't realize you have it, but it's the truth. You're arrogant as fuck. For you to think that you can decipher between what stories are real and what stories are manipulated is your arrogance coming through. Ignorant arrogance based in fear of all things. You know, it's not arrogance based on any sort of confidence. It's arrogance based in fear. You don't want the thing to be right. So, no. I'm going to say it's not. But again, how do you know? You know, that was something that had to happen for me personally, is I used to watch the news every day. And I would watch it the evening, the replay of in the mornings. I get up at like 5:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever it was. And I would watch the replay of the nightly news. Then I would watch the hour of like pre-morning news. And then it would switch to CBS this morning, and I would watch that until I think it was 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 9, I'd switch over to the 700 Club just to see the far right side of things. And actually, you know, there was like when Trump initially signed the legislation that said all colleges and universities need to actively remove any BDS anti-Israel stuff and push a pro-Israel curriculum. This was the Tuesday after Kobe died. And none of the big networks were talking about it. At a huge press conference, Netanyahu was there, blah, blah, blah. And nobody talked. I only learned about it because I watched the 700 Club that day. But once COVID hit, and 90% of the stories were about COVID and the other 10% was about Trump, it just became, redundant propaganda at that point, and I stopped watching it. And then I had to figure out another way to be informed. So I thought I'll read the news. But what do I read? What do you read? ABC, NBC, Reuters? Which one do you read? And I had figured it out prior to this that seemingly every time something crazy is happening here, it's almost like it's covering up for something even crazier happening in Israel. Great example of this is the Shireen Abu Akleh story, where the American Palestinian citizen, she was an American, 20-year veteran of the Al Jazeera press, just a huge figure in the community, well-liked, well-loved, was walking down the street in body armor that said press and a helmet that said press on it. And Israel shot her. Israel shot her in the face. And as her body lay on the ground bleeding out, anytime somebody would try to go help her, they would shoot the ground around her, keeping people away. Then did everything they could to blame it on the Palestinians. They denied it. They lied. They did all this shit. They tried to cover it up as much as they could. Oh, just give us the bullets. The bullet that hit her so we can examine it to see if it came from one of our guns. You mean make it disappear? And Israel lied and lied and lied. But on that day, we were distracted by the grocery store shooting, where the obviously military guy opened fire on that black grocery store, killing all those black people. Seeing the white guy and went, sorry, and then went and targeted more black people. So instead of us being overly concerned about an American press female Christian that had been killed by Israel in cold blood, violating every fucking code. Like, the press is off limits. They violated every fucking code and everything out there and then lied about it. Most of us didn't even know because we were more concerned about what's happening on American soil, as we probably should be. The next day, the Israelis kidnapped her brother, told her brother that they were not to have the standard funeral that the Palestinians do, where the Christians especially, carry the casket from the church to the cemetery, singing songs and waving flags. The IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, kidnapped her brother, told him that they were not allowed to do that. And then when they let him go, he ran to the press and told, hey, this is what happened. The following day, they had the funeral, and they attempted to carry the casket from the cemetery, or from the church to the cemetery, while singing songs and waving Palestinian flags, only to have the IDF show up and attack the fucking funeral. A government military organization attacked the funeral of an American press, a female American Christian press agent. They beat the people holding the casket with batons so much that they dropped the casket, but they caught it before it hit the ground. I so badly wish they would have dropped it and her body would have fell out. As gruesome and horrible as that is, that would have fucking made some international news, that's for sure. Talking about literally one of the like craziest, worst examples of Semitism, which is policy or predisposition favorable to Jays. Just one of the worst examples of a government organization attacking a funeral? What the fuck? Have you ever even heard of such a thing? And you didn't hear about it because that day was the day that there was the shooting in Texas where 19 children and 2 teachers, all from the same class, were supposedly killed. all from the same class, and yet parents weren't able to get their kids until 3 a.m, some cases, because all of the other parents had to give DNA samples to be able to get their kids. They couldn't just show up and be like, that's my kid, and the kid go, Mom! They had to give DNA samples. And then, of course, the stories, both of them just went away. And they essentially used the murder of Shireen to cover up the attack on her funeral, which is weird to say, but that's what they did. So how do you decide then what you know, when you start to realize how things work? Where do you draw the line? Okay, well, I'm going to believe this story, and that's, but I don't want to believe that one, and that one. Especially because it's about Biden. How did Biden get the pedo moniker, but Trump hasn't? We sit outside the majority, you have a lack of knowledge because even the people that are supporting you in the comments you read off among you, yep, that's what it is. And on January 28th, all of them just went, yeah, you know what, screw this guy, yeah. That's what happened. I understand, Rob, but don't take it personal. Just pick your battles and focus on the content. Most people keep taking him off topic. Of course, that's what they're supposed to do. That's what their job is. They're supposed to distract and detract and more than anything, make you guys think I'm crazy so then I don't make sense. Or if I am making sense, you go, oh, well, but if he's crazy, then I'm crazy too. I don't want to be crazy, so. Well, Matt is more understanding than a real streamer. I didn't say I was a supporter. Of course you're not Rob Pred. And he conveniently ignores good arguments knowing hell will sound stupid. I think he might have some mental health issues. Isn't that funny how that works? There's always these claims that I'm avoiding as I'm reading those claims that I'm avoiding these good points. These people can always come in and say shit like that, but they can't make the point that I'm supposedly ignoring. And then, of course, mental health issues must be mental health issues because I don't support J slavery and J, you know, and the pedos and all that stuff. Are you ever wrong? Well, let's see. Do you think I just came out the womb this way? Yeah. I wrote a song back in 2005, I believe, called Patriotism. And it's about how we as a society, as an American society, even though you didn't vote for Bush, you still need to back him so we don't look weak to the rest of the world. Yeah. Just dumb. You don't get to where I am being right all the time. It's not the people taking him off topic. It's that he constantly meth out of his mind. Yep, see? There we go. Dude, like, it's funny because you ever watch people or hear people that never do drugs talk about people that smoke pot? And they'll be like, oh, he smokes pot. He's so strong. He doesn't know what's going on. Ooh, are you seeing things? People that don't do drugs don't know drugs. And if you've ever seen what somebody on meth looks like, it's not this. Especially with this fucking jowl thing here. Meth would get rid of this real quick. But this is just, it's desperate stupidity. And you can see, I hope, Matt, you see, this is somebody who pretended to be one thing and is now showing their true colors. Oh, now, so you're bringing up the meth. Oh, yeah, it's all the meth. Even if I was methed out of my mind, how does that take away from anything I'm saying? What you would think if I was so methed out, you'd be able to address the things I'm saying and make better arguments. And you know, I appreciate these comments. Rob is saying, well, he's actually right about everything, but because I can't debunk any of it, I'm going to make up some dumb nonsense. I cross-reference different news outlets, so I'm scared of the truth. You should be. Even as a child, I was watching the news and reading the newspaper. Not me, I hated it. W. Trump for getting rid of LGBT Palestine things out of college. Right. I mean, you have stupidity. So what this dumbass is saying is, now, if they're not a dumb J themselves, they're saying that we as Americans shouldn't have free speech. Like, what the students are doing at the colleges is a constitutionally protected activity. If you're this America First person, then you should be supporting the college students, because it's constitutionally protected activity to protest, to redress your grievances against the government. We're allowed to do that. We're supposed to do that. And if you're going to do it anywhere, college is where a lot of that takes place. So this America guy is all about denying free speech, denying the First Amendment, and, like, that's how stupid these people are. And of course, the whole LGBT thing, you obviously have some gay shit you just don't deal with. It's all obvious. You're smoking ash or meth, one of the two. I'm going with the latter. Yep. Because again, obviously what meth does. Doing both, consuming too much can lead to. Now we're gonna hear from somebody that's a Bible guy. Good old Bible guy. Do not be anxious about anything. Right. Don't worry about other stuff. Only worry about yourself. Oh, don't worry about other people. Don't care about other people. Don't care about your community that one day you're going to need to care about you. No. Just follow the J leaders. If you just follow the J leaders, you'll get to go to heaven when you die. Don't worry. I used to watch Al Jazeera all the time. Annoying they got banned. Well, the thing is, Al Jazeera only told part of the story because, again, it's controlled opposition. If there wasn't an Al Jazeera, people would say, why isn't there an Al Jazeera? But as long as they have that one major outlet that supposedly talks about the conspiracies, then we think that it's being covered fully. There was that other reporter who survived but lost his whole family. What? Okay, go let the dog in. Well, you let him out and you're bringing it. Why wouldn't you do it? Because he never does it. So what does that matter? Yep, you're right. Nate, go let the dog in. Just do it. It's not about either one of you and your nonsense. It's about the dog.
No, he's not inside. So unpause the movie because he doesn't want to come in.
No, get him in the house. Because he's going to bang. Get him in the house. This guy must work right. That's the whole verse. Say the whole verse, Ed. Because the Bible is not some J nonsense, right? Like, I mean, the biblical Christian bullshit, you guys are the dumbest fucking people. Seriously. The people that believe that the bad guys in the Bible, because Satan isn't the bad guy in the Bible, Abraham and the children of Abraham are the bad guys, that they killed your Christian God's only son and your superhero, that the people that did that are your Christian God's chosen people. If you don't understand that you're being duped, I really don't, I don't know. I just don't get it. Yet you're going to be the Biden. You realize, I love the whole idea that Biden smelled a little girl's hair and smiled after smelling her hair. That makes him a pedo. But Trump, being Epstein's best buddy for many, many years, in 2020, there was a lawsuit that didn't make it to the news because we were all COVID. where him and Epstein rape a girl, same girl, and 4 different occasions where they're both in. It's a horrible fucking story. Trump has literally come out and said, is it wrong to be more attracted to your daughter than your wife? There are many pictures of Trump and his daughter grinding on him, and Trump was best buddies with Epstein. Him, Epstein, and Stephanopoulos were known as the Three Amigos, or the Three Musketeers, something like that, in the European, or in the New York night scene for many, many years. And then when Epstein died, it was the Trump presidency that covered up the death. Just like it was the Trump presidency that locked us down. And for some reason, Trump hansees seem to forget that shit. No, Biden did it. Biden locked us down. Fucking stupid. Al Jazeera was pretty much nonpartisan. Not lying there. I was. Yeah. You're stupid. You're stupid. When you understand that they have the ability to shut down whatever they want to, and then you see something like Al Jazeera with the huge views and all that. Did you know that there was a guy called, last name was Barbink. He was interviewed by Al Jazeera, by one of the top reporters in Al Jazeera. And they did this story about him. And he had come out and he said that Israel absolutely controls social media. They have all of their bots set up to scour the web, looking for content that mentions Israel, that mentions Palestine. They could have it set to any parameters they want. And once they find whatever it is, once it's flagged, then the humans come in, and he said they, quote, contact Facebook, which I don't know how you do that, but he said they contact Facebook, and Facebook usually complies with the request to take the thing down or shadow ban or whatever it is. And that story was released in Al Jazeera media. The next day, the guy the Al Jazeera reporter that did the story, he had 200 million followers on Facebook. He didn't mention the story, but the next day his Facebook account was gone. Never got it back. I can't tell you guys how many times I've read to you the exact narrative of Team Jorge, where they have 30 to 40,000 profiles in 2022, had 30 to 40,000 bot profiles that they could use to attack anyone. Tal Hanen, Team Jorge, and that was just one Israeli Black Ops organization that was exposed. There are countless. Here's the real Philippines. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Do you know how stupid all of that is? It's just stupid. And then when you understand the origins of it, how do you still believe it? You're Australian. You know, it's funny. I've always been big in Australia. It's amazing how my feed doesn't take off more in Australia, because they've always shown support, and they're not dumb Americans. How would you... Right, so I'm either supposed to read the comments and address them, or I'm not. Which one do you guys want again? I have done heroin before. I know drugs. I know meth as well. I used to smoke weed daily, and you're not on weed. Trust me there. Yep, that's what it must be. We should believe you. You're a troll. We should believe you. Me smoking these meth blunts. Gotta love the meth blunts. The key is you gotta keep the boulders bigger, because if you just break it down to a powder, then it just comes through the meth. Like if you break weed down too much, you can't smoke the blunt. It's even worse with the meth. But that sort of desperation says everything about you. It just shows how stupid you are. You know, you can't fucking address anything being said, so you say stupid shit. The students are destroying property. No, they're not. They're peacefully protesting, beating drums and whatnot. It's usually the J students that come in and cause the problems. It's the J students that come in and start trying to get away with their entitled bullshit, picking fights, destroying shit. You know how many times Jays have claimed that you know their residence is being, you know, graffitied or some kind of bullshit is happening just because they're dumb Jays, only to find out with hidden cameras that it was actually that dumb Jay that did it, and then they don't get in any trouble for it. Bird boy, you're retarded then. Guess you don't see the bowl he's holding and the blunt he had. Blind is... No, it's not blind. It's desperate, Matt. It's desperate. When they're desperate, they can't say what I'm wrong about. Like, again, anytime somebody brings up the meth bullshit, it's them saying, well, you're right about what you're saying, so I'm desperately going to come up with something else. Weed doesn't make you pace like that. Oh, yes. Weed doesn't make you pace. Pacing back and forth. So, like, when Chris Rock is on stage, he's pacing. And he must be on meth. And actually, if you know anything about public speaking and whatnot, they tell you, don't just stand still. You lull your audience to sleep. You lull yourself to sleep. You know, it's about keeping your juices going and moving. But yep, that's what it is. So the end-all be-all argument is not that I'm doing like this or that I'm, you know, you see any meth or anything. You see weed, but because I pace back and forth, he wants attention.
I've been trying to give him attention, but he doesn't want it. I think he wants mom.
Okay, well, enjoy having a dog, dude.
I'm not having a dog. I'm having a cat.
Okay, well, you have a dog now. He's pacing slow. What do you mean? Right now he's rolling, or at least was. You're just taking attention. Okay, yeah. I don't want to tell you how to think, Matt. I know how you get upset about that. But come on, look at how desperate they are. Most of these are pedo supporting, Israel supporting piece of shit. What else could they say? This guy can't come in here and tell me I'm wrong about the J slavery. I'm wrong about the genocide. I'm wrong about the pedo stuff. I'm wrong about Trump's past. It's so funny to me how all the trumpets always avoid the fact that, one, he lost the first election by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp that he was going to drain put him in anyway, the J swamp. They love avoiding the whole Epstein issue. And they love avoiding the fact that Trump locked us down. Cost everybody their businesses and, you know, people lost loved ones and all this other shit. And they're going to do it again. Come next fall, we're going to get hit with another round of COVID. They don't like talking about those truthful things. It goes against their narrative of, but I mean, again, how does anyone believe that a government representative is a good guy, especially at that level? You know, the funniest thing about most trumpets, most Trumpanzees, is they say the right things about other government, you know, officials, presidents, whatever, but somehow Trump, the terrible businessman, the open racist, the sexist, piece of shit, homophobic, fake Christian bullshit, he gets the pass. That only happens by choice. Because it appeals to you. Because you're a fucking racist, a bigot, you know, a sexist, homophobic. You're all these things. And Trump appeals to that. Because, again, none of these trumpets want to address the fact that the gas prices and food prices haven't gone down and in some cases have gone up. Now, we don't want to talk about that, right? You know, stupidity is Stupidity is a choice in some respects, man. I mean, there are people that are just born fucking stupid. They won't get it. But, you know, these people are just hiding. It's just like hiding behind the meth thing. They can't answer questions, so they hide behind the meth thing. They don't want to acknowledge that they're racist, you know, homophobic, sexist bigots. So they just hide behind, oh, I support the government. I support Trump. These are all cowards. You know, it's cowardly bullshit. It's ignorance and in just flat out stupidity. What, did the comments get shut down? I finally catch up to the comments and now they're shut down? Oh no, you got something to say. Here we go. The ceiling tile is asbestos, bro. Yep, it sure is. You know, because you've done a fucking taken a sample and had it tested and come on. Just flat stupidity. You can't address what's being said. I get it. You know, and you guys have to think about this from a different perspective, right? Let's just say I'm doing a presentation and I have an audience. I'm at a theater, or I'm in some sort of, you know, we're in some sort of meeting of some, you know, a big round table meeting or something like that. And me as the speaker is going, okay, these are the issues on the table. We're going to talk about this, this, and this, and this, and this. And then some random person comes in and says, look at the ceiling. Would anybody fucking say anything? When they get kicked out? You know, we don't allow that in other cases. As a matter of fact, in our government, if somebody stands up and starts spitting out truth, they get violently removed as quickly as possible. You can't name one racist thing Trump has said. Sure. I don't follow the things Trump says all the time, but there are plenty of things out there. And it's policies. You know, calling something the China flu or the China virus is racist. All of the things about eating cats and dogs and all that, that's all racist. Everything that has to do with the border is racist. But because you're an insecure white male, you're going to go, no, I know we never heard a single thing about how bad the borders were until Trump came around. And then suddenly the same speech that was given back in 2015, 2016 is now being given again because suddenly the borders are bad. You know, again, more racism than you realize. Every single negative thing other than black on black crime or some shit, white people do it more. There are more white people on Social Security, on you know, more white people milking the government, more white people than anything because we live in a mostly white society. If you look back on your history, the people that have wronged you more times than anyone else are white people. You know, the white Christian church consistently gets caught violating children. But hey, who cares? 2018, under the Trump presidency, the Pennsylvania dioceses were exposed. The paperwork came out again. This is just how much you're willing to accept, but came out 6 out of 8 of the Pennsylvania, like that. It's just gangster shit. You know, it's the territories are divided up, and then there's like there's a head, and then that head kicks up to another head, and it's the same sort of pyramid scheme, you know, mafioso setup as anything else. But the Catholic Church has what they call dioceses, which is they break, you know, Pennsylvania was broken up into 8 different territories, 8 different dioceses. And 6 out of the 8 were found to be just riddled with pedophilia, where somebody would get caught and they would just send them off to another place in the country so they could continue doing whatever they did. They wouldn't be held accountable. And if it was too bad, they of course send them to the Vatican where, you know, they can't be extradited or anything like that. And it's only 6 out of 8 and not 8 out of 8 because those other 2 dioceses are Amish. And for some reason, those white people are allowed to have their own community in this country and reject everything American, but still get all the protections and benefits of being here. Nobody says anything about that. You know, there's so much abuse and pedophilia and shit in the Amish communities, in the Mormon communities, in the Scientology communities. And yet we don't talk about those things because, well, those are mostly white. And I honestly fell for it. I thought, oh shit. Well, I thought that the Pennsylvania thing might spread and we would start, you know, exposing all these other dioceses like a good president would have. And I thought, well, geez, I wonder, you know, this is sort of giving a heads up to all the other dioceses, all the other states that they need to shred their documents. But nothing came of it. It just went away. That was it. It was just done. That's from their religion. Not that they're white. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Remember the Nixon cult or whatever? I can't. NIXM or whatever it was called? Where those white people were on the southern side of the border in Mexico and they supposedly got attacked in their brand new vehicles. That the grandfather films the smoking wreckage of the vehicle with his burnt up grandchildren in it. He's filming that shit. You believe that shit, you're stupid. But it shows you. It shows you how you know, incredibly stupid we are. How incredibly brainwashed and what kind of sheep we are. You know, Christians all over the country should have said, you know what? Fuck that. I am done with this cult. We just found out that 6 out of 8 of these dioceses were not only riddled with pedophilia, but the same system covered it all up across the country, across the world. They all knew about it and nobody did anything about it. Obviously, God doesn't give a shit. You know, we demand accountability across the country. All these dioceses need to be exposed. All their records need to be shown. Nope, Christians didn't do that. Christians were like, meh. The thing is, people seemingly forgot that in 2018-19, the Goyim across the world were protesting. There were the huge yellow vest protests that were all over Europe. They were protesting in Hong Kong, protests in Australia, protests in South America, Venezuela, all that shit. The people were revolting. And at first, in 2019, they tried to shut us down with the measles thing. Just like they're doing now. They're trying to say some measles bullshit. Like, the Trump presidency was written out to be a specific thing. You know, it was supposed to work in a specific way. You needed Epstein. That was part of it. You needed the borders. That was part of it. You know, they're just running the same program. You know, but they brought out COVID and they shut everything down. They shut down the protests and they made it so we were all scared of each other and hated each other. We wouldn't even touch each other. That's not there. That's from their religion. Look at their way. Yeah. You know, dumb fucking... Does my feed show you anything other than dumb, bigot, white guys? It's all you ever see on here is dumb, really dumb, bigoted white guys. You know, white people make up 69% of the population. Only 55% if you take out those with Hispanic in their history who claim to be white. Dirty. 69% of the population. People say, oh, what are you talking about? White people get arrested way more than black people. 30-some% of the arrests are white people. Or what is it? No, 60-some% of the 50-some% of the arrests are white people. White people make up 69% of the population, and we'll say it's 50. 50% of the arrests are white people. Black people make up 13% of the population, and over 30% of the arrests are black people. So yeah, when you say that white people are arrested a hard, 50% of the time, that sounds like that makes sense. But when 13% of the population is arrested 30% of the time, 40% of that says a lot more than white guys want to see, so they won't. White guys love to play the victim. Like anytime you see somebody with a sign in their yard that says protect religious freedom, you can guarantee that's a white Christian. White Christians don't care about my religious freedom to not deal with their bullshit in my everyday life. No. Their religious freedoms trump everyone else's religious freedoms. Being somebody that grew up a halfie and having that duality and not like it's just weird to me how like you'll say like people that'll be stupid enough to say, but you're white when I say these things. Even if I was white, why wouldn't I say these things? Because I'm white. If anything, white people saying it would make it more powerful. Just like this idea that I'm some sort of piece of shit Jay. If I came out of the piece of shit Jay cult and said the things that I say, it would make everything I say so much more powerful. I wish that was the case. I mean, I'm glad it's not, because then I'd have to be a piece of shit Jay, But it's like, again, it's just, I'm sitting here arguing with stupid, and they wonder why I overlook their comment. Like, once you've already proven that I'm 16 and I'm stupid. Like when you already prove yourself to be stupid, I don't bother reading your shit. If I see that Matt comments, I'm going to read it. Matt's already proven to be somebody that actually has some shit to say. Let me hit on this chat. I'm Jade up to Pith Guy Goldberg Williams. Again, like this, if your real goal was to piss me off, to make me feel bad or get any of the reactions you so desperately want out of me and tell yourself you're getting, you just tell me what I'm wrong about. That would be the easiest method. Instead of having to make up dumb nonsense left and right and, say things that you can't back up, why don't you just tell me what I'm wrong about? That would be the most effective method. But of course, that's never going to happen because they're horrible. They're stupid. Jays are awesome, says some piece of shit, probably Jay. And there's literally no evidence of that. Show me. Show me how these people are good people. Show me how they're right. Show me how they've benefited society. They aren't the inventors. They aren't the creators. They're the thieves who take good ideas and then, push it as their own. They take the Goyim ideas and push it as their own. I've said it time and time again. You don't even have to prove that I'm wrong. Don't tell me what I'm wrong about. Just tell me how the Jays are awesome. Truth is awesome. Everything else is mundane and bleak. Yeah. This dumbass makes the electoral college argument. Because, in 2016, and then both times Bush won, we needed the Electoral College to step in because we didn't get it right. Every other time, it's fine. We get it right. But the time when Trump lost by 2.7 million votes, 2,700,000 more people voted for Hillary than... Well, no, then the Electoral College has to step in. And you don't understand how that works. Yeah, well, go ahead and explain it, dumbass. Go ahead and explain how somebody that can lose by 2.7 million votes not only gets put in by the same swamp he said he was going to drain, but his opponent, who won and would have been the first female in history president, would have gone down in the forever annals of history. Hillary Clinton will long be forgotten. If she won the president, that makes her immortal. She is the first female president of the United States. That 1,000 years from now they would talk about her. And instead, she won and then was told she lost. And instead of doing what Trump did when he clearly lost, like in 2020, she was like, nah, I'm out. See ya. Trump clearly lost in 2020. And yet, cried and bitched and cried and orchestrated this, that, and the other, and then pardoned those guys, and just a whole bunch of bullshit. If you don't think January 6th was a bunch of actors, after they were pardoned, I really don't know what, isn't it amazing how these people violently attacked a government institution and nobody shot them? When the Breonna Taylor verdicts were going to be read out loud, for days beforehand, the military set up blockades and were stationed everywhere and were ready to roll. On January 6th, nope. No military came. No military did anything. These guys were running around they were running through the Capitol building. I think it's Capitol building. I can't remember. They're running through the lower levels of this maze. It's a maze. Unless you know where you're going, you're not going to know where you're going. And everywhere they were supposed to turn, like if it was they come to a place where the hallway goes either left or right. If they were supposed to go to the left, there'd be a guy standing there in a blue shirt on the right. And they knew to go to the left. How anybody doesn't see January 6th as a completely orchestrated event, especially after the pardons. Imagine you committing those kind of crimes and you getting pardoned for it. None of them got arrested. The next day, the news had to say, hey, if anybody knows who these people are, turn them, because there were no cops on scene. Pretty scary when you think about the idea that our government offices can be attacked and there's literally no response to it. Kind of like 9/11. Kind of like how on 9/11, Secretary of Defense, Norman Mineta, I can't remember what official capacity he was, but he flat out said that they were tracking the plane coming towards the Pentagon. And when asked whether they should shoot it down, Cheney said, have you heard anything to the contrary? It's there. This isn't conspiracy theory we're talking about. This is common sense. Where's your common sense? Look at this. Oh, we got a pedo flag flyer. Time for you to go. You fly the pedo flag, you get off the fucking feed. Oops. That was the wrong person. No, that was the wrong one. My bad. We went to go with Rogers. He joined 2 weeks ago. Rogers joined 2 weeks ago, has no subscribers, and is flying the pedo flag. Gee, I wonder who that is. People making fake accounts just to watch me because I don't matter. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And the best part is, you know, these Jays, they have us arguing about these fucking stupid things, these obviously stupid things, playing off of your racism, playing off of your homophobia, playing off of your sexism, all of which things that they created through their Hollywoodism, and now they use it against us. It's really fucking shocking. No, it's not now. Anybody that flies the pedo flag gets removed. Pretty simple. Yeah, I'm not going to allow you to do your shopping on my page. I'm not going to allow you to connect with other pedos on my page. But again, desperation makes you say stupid things because instead of addressing anything that's being said, you're trying to find these, oh, look. Oh, you did what you said you were going to do. Oh. It's always really interesting. Really fucking interesting. You think you can hold this for a second?
Yeah, give me a second. Grab my coffee so I can get this
Yep.
off my phone.
It's 8 in the it started at 8 in the morning on a Saturday, and you're here wasting all of your time on me because you hate me so much because I'm the joke. That makes sense. Bunch of Israeli pedos on there.
Oh yeah?
Who else would it be?
I don't know. I just walked in the door, so I don't know what y'all were talking about or anything. But I will say the sun is out. That helps. No, I think, sorry y'all, I'm on the phone with my mom, so you guys are sharing me right now. I don't know. At this point, I don't know if the sun is going to remain, but I will take it as long as I can possibly get it. Because this winter's been dreary. Yeah. Oh, we got a lovely letter from DTE that said, we know that we have had some very extreme cold weather this year, and some of you have noticed that being reflected in your energy bills. So here's some things that you can do to help curb that. Set your thermostat at 68. Re-caulk and weather strip your house, and all these things that we can pay to have done to try to keep our energy bills down. Never mind the fact that they're hiking their rates.
The monopoly that they are.
Fucking assholes.
Because, another J-owned monopoly that you're not allowed to find another source or,
Nope.
competing offers or whatever it is.
Take it in the butt from them. That's all our choices. But I couldn't believe that. Really? Like, you spent money to have these letters printed and sent out to us to tell us, yeah, we know we're raping you. So,
Smile.
yeah, turn your heat down. Be cold in your house. Go spend money for better windows and weather stripping and caulking. And,
On the house you rent.
yeah, on the house you rent. And, and maybe your costs will go down a little. Like, putting it back on us. Really?
But
And
that's
you
how
guys
that
spent
works.
money
That's how it
to tell
always
us
works.
this.
That's how everything works. And it's crazy to me that people just refuse to see it. Like it's similar. The same people, the same attitudes, the same perspective is pushed on us in multiple different occasions, multiple different instances. And instead of calling it out for what it is, we just go, gee, I hope the Savior comes and makes everything okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in my house, pray about it. I don't want to do anything.
Up really bad.
I don't want to, unify with my fellow Goyim and stand up to this system. No. No. Trump didn't tell me to, so I'm not going to. Trump is a convicted felon, and he's in office. Do you know that Trump, because he's a convicted felon, isn't allowed to travel to like multiple countries around the world? And because he's a convicted felon, if he was from another country, he wouldn't be allowed to come into our country? But hey, you know, he's orange. He says what you need to hear. Your bigotry, you know, he plays on your homophobia, your bigotry, your sexism.
I'm thinking that 11 is probably a late morning time, right? So my phone should be ready here. Look, set me straight, and I'll let you know how that conversation goes. All right, I love you. All right, bye.
And it comes back to, again, like, look at what we're allowed to see. Why are people that essentially, you know, advertise for the police brutality, advertise for the system that just keeps fucking us?
There's one more message besides that.
Talking about felons while using drugs, yes. Using legal medication that prior to the legality of it was prescribed. Yeah. Desperation, man. Thank you for another example of desperation. Because, you know, these meth blunts.
In sleeves. Are they protected?
Just insane. Just insane how you know, like I said, you have a bunch of people who clearly their entire life is based around me. Doesn't matter if I go live in the morning, at night, whatever. They are here for the long haul. And they try everything they can to upset me or you know, whatever. Everything other than simply debunking me. You take all my power away when you start showing that I'm lying or that I'm, you know, purposefully missing things or misrepresenting things or whatever. You win. But you don't want to win. You just want me to pay attention to me. And the thing is, these people don't exist on DirectD's feeds. These people don't exist on Press NH Now's feeds. Why? You know, there are plenty of truthers out there that are allowed to exist. Why is it they don't want the one guy that can actually bridge the gap? Like, you can't have a white guy be the person. Just like you can't have a black guy be the person. Eek. No, that's Dave.
Dave was laying on.
That's Dave. Eek's right there. Yeah. White people aren't going to like all white people aren't going to get behind a black guy. Just like black people aren't going to get behind a white person. You need somebody that blurs those lines. Somebody articulate and intelligent that could actually go into these government settings and have the conversation without saying things like ain't and gots and, you know, any other stupid nonsense. You can't have somebody that has allegiances to Christianity or Republicans or any of that shit. Like I said earlier, how do you...
Yeah, just another question.
What do I have posted on that page?
I don't know, you have my phone, so I can't. Let the dogs in!
Who let the dogs in?
Nick asked if they could play an hour early. I said to go clean the bathroom. They said, oh, we'll wait an hour.
Yeah, of course.
Okay then.
Just give me a second, sorry. You're gonna have to play by my rules, bitch. Wow, you sure are getting a lot of clicks on your page. Much more than mine's is. Because again, nothing weird about that.
Yeah, I'm about to put Karen's fucking room size loom on my marketplace for her. These are awesome.
Sure.
It's the size of this whole area.
Wow, your page is weird. Dog does not listen.
He wants to play.
We should beat him. Because that's what we do. We beat dogs. Oh, look. The alpha females here. Man, all you females watching, you gotta go, oh, shit. This dumb girl's here. If there's not a better representation of dumb girl out there, you know, I'd love to see who it is, because this chick is just dumb. Alpha female.
Oh, that's her name.
Yeah, that's her moniker. She's as dumb as it gets. It's amazing.
Self-proclaimed alpha.
Yeah, of course.
I love those.
Yeah, of course.
They're usually the most insecure types.
She's an idiot. She's an idiot, a bigot, a piece of shit. Like, you know, of course. What else could she do? What else can she say? You know, you have to look at it from that perspective. Like, what else could they do? They could tell me what I'm wrong about. They could address the comments and whatnot, but they don't. Laws were invented by the and break laws. Not sure what that means. By the Jays. You have a store for that now. How many ideas related to hiding slavery but keeping it slavery are there? How many ideas related to hiding slavery but keeping it slavery are there? Not sure what that means. It's a simple, the simplest thing. It's an old adage, you know. The people, the group that you're not allowed to talk about is the group you should be focused on. And there's literally only one group that falls into that category where we're not even supposed to talk about like anything. You're not supposed to talk about anything they do. You're supposed to support it, but you're not supposed to talk about it. And you have to ask yourself, like, why as Americans do we accommodate a foreign cult the way that we do? They're a cult. When you here, let's look that up. Let's look up what a cult officially is. Cult. A cult is a group of people who share unusual or extreme religious, philosophical, or spiritual beliefs and practices. I mean, does it get more extreme than cutting and sucking on baby penises? Are we serious here? This is a cult. A cult that believes women's vaginas are the worst thing in the world. Thankfully, they think women's vaginas are disgusting, so that prevents them from molesting and mutilating their babies fresh out the womb like they do to us. They don't molest us, but they mutilate us fresh from the womb. Within hours of being born, Goyim males are subjected to something that most of us can't even like think about. Like, oh, I don't want to think about it. Oh. And we do that to we let them do that to our children. To mark us as their slaves, as their property. We're talking about a fucking cult here. A cult that demands supremacy. Policy or predisposition favorable to Jays. That is the definition of Semitism. I am very, very proud of my anti-Semitism. You know, other than like my children, there's not too many things that I'm more proud of than the fact that I'm told I have to accept this cult and basically worship this cult, and I refuse to. You know, unlike all of you cowards out there who are like, oh, cutting and sucking baby penises, that's fine. I think that's wrong. I have a problem with that. And if you don't have a problem with that, like that's all you need to say. If you don't have a problem with that, then we don't have any interaction. There's nothing that needs to be said. You're saying you're okay with the cutting and sucking of baby penises, and I have no room for that in my world. I think it's the worst of the worst.
Got a couple extra silicone mats.
And I just can't do this anymore, man. I can't.
In my defense,
I can't stay blind. I can't stay quiet. And I don't know why you can. What it's not like the ruse is a good one. It's not like, you know, they're hiding it well and we just, how do they, you know, we don't know what's happening and all that. We know. It's out in the open, and you're told you're not supposed to say anything about it.
So yeah, I'm excited. I just wanted
by the same people that write and enforce the laws and seemingly are immune to them. I have to say imagine it because it doesn't exist because it's already been eliminated. Imagine if there was a group of blacks or Mexicans or whatever that considered themselves separate from the rest of us, and part of their thing was to cut and suck baby penises. How much do you, like, how long do you think they'd be allowed to exist? How much do you think we as Americans would accommodate them?
It needs to happen prior to that.
Yep, got it. It's a method. I don't want to be corrected by a method, so I come here every day and point out how stupid I am.
So, yeah, exactly.
I get it. You're a dumb girl, and you're not smart enough to be able to come up with any sort of argument. So you're going to make shit up. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Get all that meth in there. Burn, meth, burn. Your hair is a cult. Yeah. Ad hominem. Let's, real quick. We're just going to read to you guys something. Should be pretty obvious as to why.
No, when you know.
Ad hominem. Short for argumentum ad hominem refers to several types of arguments that are usually fallacious. Often, currently, this term refers to a rhetorical strategy where the commenter attacks the character, motive, or some other attribute, hair, of the person making an argument rather than the substance of the argument itself. This avoids genuine debate by creating a diversion, often using a totally irrelevant, hair, but often highly charged attribute of the opponent's character or background, weed. The most common form of this fallacy is person A, moi, makes a claim of fact to which commenter B, you, asserts that A, me, has a personal trait, quality, or physical attribute that is repugnant, thereby going off topic, and hence B, you, concludes that A, me, has their fact wrong without ever addressing the point of the debate. A common misconception is that an ad hominem attack is synonymous with an insult, which it's not. To me, it's almost the highest, like, it's better than if they were telling me I'm right, right? It's better. If they were here just going, yeah, what's up, bud?
James' butt is,
Poopy?
yeah.
You got some poop to clean, Mom. Dave's butt. Dave's butt needs cleaning. But this is, you know, this is what they do. This is how they operate. And it's like I say, it's better than them telling me I'm right because it shows you like the effort that goes into not being able to tell me I'm wrong. You could just skip over if somebody was like, yeah, he's right about this. Those comments get skipped over. It's these crazy nonsense comments that it's like, hey, why aren't you addressing what he's saying? There is no addressing what I'm saying and to tell me I'm wrong. You can't. You can't. That's why the system desperately shuts my page down. Because they can't do anything. You know? And I don't serve them benefit like they keep me around so they can keep an eye on things and see what, you know, because I'm pretty good at talking about shit before it happens or before it catches on. But unlike Direct D and unlike Press NH Now and all these other guys, I'm not inspiring people to go out and get arrested, creating more revenue. So they don't want me being broadcast everywhere. It's all about keeping an eye on things, but keeping it contained. The last thing they want is someone like me reaching younger kids who then go to school and say these things. You know, when the teachers start, like my kids have been told, just let it happen. When the teachers start talking about Trump or Christianity or whatever it is, just let it happen because They know better. You know? But they just need to get through this shit. These aren't fights worth fighting for them. You know, I've told my kids many, many times, just believe the earth is round till you get out of school. You know?
Alex's husband posted this.
I don't know what to think until Trump tells me. Exactly. Go clean butts.
Oh, Jesus.
Nobody likes you. We just come here every day to desperately try to get your attention. Desperately. The system doesn't do shit against you. You block people that speak against your bullshit. Yep. Right? So am I blocking you now? Is that what I do? Or is there a specific, if you try to shop on my page, you fly the pedo flag or you say pedo code words, then you get blocked. Who else gets, or the doxing? Yeah, I'm gonna block you if you dox. But, you know, I mean, the alpha female has been here for weeks, months, day after day after day, just licking those nuts. And all she does is talk shit, so why isn't she blocked? Wasn't your kid on suicide watch at the hospital? Yep, totally was. Totally. Suicide watch. They had to lock him down and inject him with a bunch of shit and blah, blah, blah. Again, is this ad hominem? Just so we know, I'm talking about the bigger picture, and we have people trying to bring up shit about what my kids, my wife, anything other than what I'm actually talking about. I must be wrong, huh? Teachers hate Trump. Sure, you know that. You know what all teachers think. Man, a job instead of selling drugs to occupy all this free time. You have a place in your attic at better than. Okay. Yeah, I'm selling drugs. I sell all those drugs. That's why we're so poor.
I was gonna say, where the fuck is our big house and nice ass car and vacations?
Yeah, you know, I'm just not good at it.
Oh, you're a shitty drug dealer?
I must be. Although, it's weird, like as a drug dealer who goes live for hours at a time, it seems weird that
Nobody's calling you for their
right,
drugs.
nobody's getting drugs at those times. Oh, that's what it must be. Right. I set those rules. I love when I read you guys what ad hominem is, and people go, well, there are other people out there as stupid as me, so I need to provide some examples for everyone. Anything but talk about the Jays, right? Anything but tell me how I'm wrong about the Jays, how there's not a conspiracy to control us, how they don't, you know, they're not committing genocide. We as taxpayers aren't paying for it. You know, it's not a problem that there's, you know, that so many of our government officials are dual Israeli citizens and all that. Nah, don't worry about all that. What you should worry about is Guy Williams and his hair. Like, I appreciate all these people coming in and acknowledging that they are pieces of shit. You know, if you're not actively opposing genocide, pedophilia, you know, the control, the slavery, then you're supporting it. And I appreciate the examples. You don't pay taxes. Yep, I don't pay taxes. Yep. More ad hominem. I pay more taxes than all of you. You know, it's like you can't claim one thing and then say the other. You just must not know about how all this works. You don't know how this system works, so you say stupid shit like I could trick doctors into giving me multiple surgeries. You know how fucking stupid you sound? I mean, obviously, dumb fucking beta girl knows that you know she's dumb, so she doesn't bring that one back up again. But how do you convince a doctor to give you a fake surgery?
I haven't met one yet.
So stupid. You can't trick
Yeah,
the system into fake workman's comp claim. Yeah, fake. Right. Yep, fake.
Have you ever dealt with workman's comp?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
Of course they haven't. These are stupid people who they literally know nothing.
So workman's comp, their whole goal is to get you off of workman's comp. So they will send you to doctor after doctor after doctor, psychiatrist. They'll send you to everybody they fucking can, hoping to find...
They send you to their doctors.
Their doctors.
Right. Who?
Hoping to find one of them that will say, oh, he's good enough to work. And then they're like, boom, you're done.
Right.
That's
their
what
doctors
their job is.
who they send lots of work to, so they're on like the same sort of, you know. But I'm such a good actor. I'm not in Hollywood. I'm doing this instead.
If you've ever seen my husband in a setting that he doesn't want to be in, you will absolutely 100% know that he is far from a good actor.
Apparently, I'm driving around all day too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All day, huh?
But see, this is exactly what we're like. This is ad hominem.
You mean the 5 minutes it takes to get from the school to back to the house in the morning after the kids are dropped off?
Literally. Yeah, no, I drive around all day. All day.
How can you when we have one car and I'm the one out running errands all the time?
Because that's what I do. You know? So these people, again, are so much more concerned with this than genocide. Desperately trying to shoot the messenger because they can't talk about... Because, you know, it's not like they're out here openly like, yeah, genocide's great. They can't. I mean, some of them, I guess, do. But, you know, they're not. And most of these people are fucking pedos. Absolutely pedos. Pedos and pedo supporters.
That just...
It's disgusting.
How do you support hurting children?
Because you hurt children. It's the same reason why our government doesn't... It's like...
But even the pedophile groups, like, it's not like they cheer each other on. Even SVU had one of the episodes was a pedophile support group, you know, and it was like more like an accountability group, and
to some degree,
they weren't like supporting each other for it. They were trying to find ways to help each other curb those desires.
Well, until the one
not
fake
act
cop,
on 'em.
until the one cop who's pretending to be one of them says, "Hey, let's do something," and then the other one's like, "Okay, let's do it." Right? But again, it's like Gordon Flowers, right? That guy is one of the best predator poachers, I believe his page is. This guy is every single day putting out videos where he, you know, him and his group pose as a kid of some sort, and then they go to that guy's house and they get him to say a bunch of shit they get him to acknowledge and admit to a bunch of shit on camera. They have everything well documented and all that. And damn near every time the police show up, you know, he said, "Hey, I've done your job for you, and I'm giving you this case gift wrapped, all the evidence you need. Everything is right here for you. Just get the credit for arresting this guy." 99% of the time, the cops show up and they're shitty to him. Our system hasn't said, "Hey, we really appreciate everybody do." Our system is spread a little thin right now, which is why we're not doing it ourselves. But yeah, all of you people who are non-violently exposing these pedos, You're heroes. Thank you for your efforts. Here you go. Our system doesn't do that. They're going to start getting caught. Gordon Flowers, Alex, whatever his name is, he just busted an OSHA, a top-ranking guy at OSHA. Did you hear about it on national news?
No.
His doctors told him to stop wearing that stupid brace years ago, and he uses it like a security blanket. They won't even give him. How could you possibly know any of this? How would you know anything about what goes on in my life? Doctor won't give you a new one. You know you can just go buy new braces anytime you want to, right? They're not even expensive. But it's again, instead of being like, yeah, fuck those pedos, we need to get them out of our country, we need to eliminate anything like that, you're gonna talk about this some more. It's just insane.
Okay, so Redford has a junior police thing, and they're gonna be meeting once a month. They're gonna be learning.
Now I have a track phone.
We'll learn how the police department works, including tourism department, learning how to handcuff and search buildings.
That's a good thing for the kids to learn. I did it live. So are you saying I went to a doctor's office live? You've been watching all of this time? Like, do you not realize what this is? If you open the books on Israel, you demonize Israel kind of shit. It's admitting more about you than it says about me. But again, I sure don't remember being able to go live in doctors' offices. But yeah, that must be the case. That must be it. I was going live with the doctor, and the doctor told me, well, like, just again, that is so much more important than the whole pedo situation, right? It's ranting again. Yep. Getting frustrated. Oh yeah, I'm so frustrated. I am so upset right now. Look at how desperate you are. You want to affect me so badly. I mean so much to you that you will, get off the feed and be like, yeah, I got him. That's what matters. Hey! You know what?
I'm just singing a song.
Who cares what you're just doing? Stop it.
Playing the drums.
So you're going to keep pushing?
No.
Sounds like it.
You did it one more time, Dad. No, I didn't.
I believe that all that THC. Yep. Yeah. No, it's meth. Remember, weren't you saying it was meth? It's all the meth. I'm this poor piece of shit who has so much meth I can smoke multiple blunts of it. What now?
Nothing.
Nick.
What, my buddy?
Nick,
What?
you're sick. Go sit on the couch and chill out. I know you feel okay right now, but you know how this works. And I can see you.
I can't see me.
Okay, well, push it. You can go back to your room if you want.
And you're only poor because you're a really bad drug dealer.
Bad drug dealer. Because I sit here and I smoke up all my meth.
Oh, you're not supposed to use your supply, man.
Don't get high on your own supply. Must be more important than pedos. Must be more important than genocide. And it's my fault. Like, I am talking about things that you have to be somewhat intelligent to be able to engage in. You have to have done some reading.
Well,
you have to know.
Importantly, you have to be willing to set your programming aside.
No.
To look at things a different way.
No, that's not it. No. as far as being on my side, yes, but to just be someone that can have this sort of conversation, you have to know about the other side. You have to know about Israel. You have to know about the Jays. You have to know about the government. You have to know about all these things going on. And these are stupid people.
Have an open mind enough
No,
to be educated on
I'm
it.
talking about the people arguing with me. These aren't I'm not talking about the people that have to have the open mind to be able to see. No, I'm talking about the people that are supposedly arguing with me. You have to be somewhat educated to have this argument. And because these people have no fucking education, they're not smart enough to go. Like, I've literally told you guys what the weakness is. I've given you guys the kryptonite. You come in here and tell me what I'm wrong about, and it's going to, it's going to hurt. It's going to stop me. It's going to make it so I can't. All the other stuff you guys do, all the other shit that you think you're bringing up, that I talk about on my live, you're not bringing up anything, and it doesn't. You could talk all the shit you want about my wife, my kids, me. I don't give a fuck. What would I care that some goofy J troll is talking shit about me physically? All of you are uglier than I am. Literally, all of you.
Beauty comes from within. If you're ugly inside,
no, you did, Nick.
If you're ugly inside, it doesn't matter how you physically.
That's not true.
Yourself.
That's not true. There are plenty of stars out there that do horrible, horrible things behind closed doors, but we still see them as the prettiest people in the world. That's it. You can hide all that shit, but it's like I said, it's better that they do this than having a bunch of people come tell me I'm right. The fact that you have the opportunity, the open floor to debunk what I'm saying, and instead of doing that, you try doing this childish ad hominem bullshit, that says everything. You're not even acknowledging that, hey, maybe I might be this thing or think this way. So you're just saying dumb shit because that's all you have. You have to be an absolute moron piece of shit to oppose me. You're not seeing high-ranking, big money, intelligent people on here trying to tell me what I'm wrong about. That shit doesn't happen because they can't.
Tell them dog and catch it before they.
Before you get started, you have jobs to do. What do you think?
Dog poop?
Yep.
Nathan!
Nate, you have... Here, Nate. Daniel, come here.
Nate, go see Dad. 1 second, Dad. Oh my God. Go see Dad.
So you're already playing. So you should not be able to play anymore then, right?
Why? Me neither.
Well, why not? Are you guys both playing before you did your jobs?
I didn't know. We didn't know we were supposed to, but okay.
Why would today be any different than any other day?
It's the weekend. We don't do it on the weekend, but okay.
You don't do your jobs on the weekends?
No, we never do. Mark?
Are you kidding me?
Unless you ask us, we never do it.
So maybe that's what the problem is.
Don't unpause it without me, Nick.
No.
I thought he pulled it out.
No, I didn't. I went to and I missed.
What? I will unpause it because I'm going to do stuff.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Jesus. I'm not going to just wait for you.
Why? You would expect him to, right?
No, because I'm going to be
Nick, would you expect him to wait for you?
No.
Really?
No, because as soon as he's done, he's going to do it.
No, that's not how that works. But if you want to keep pushing this thing, man, you can just miss out on all of it. Okay. Okay, Nathan, thank you for telling. I said thank you for telling. Oh, They got busted trying to scam the system, and guy ended up owing child support to his wife. Yeah, that's how that works. Again, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you're talking about stupid shit. You just don't know what you're talking about. And it's just great. I mean, it's great. You know, this is the desperation people come up with when they can't argue anything being said. You know, these people are essentially acknowledging that they're pedos and pedo supporters. Alpha female, pedo. We already know that the one of one guy is a pedo. Billy, a pedo. These are pedos. These are pedos who are desperately trying to stop somebody that thinks we should kill them all. The last thing they want is someone like me having any sort of platform and calling on it. Calling on all the people that have ever been busted in government with any kind of bullshit like that to be outed. Calling on anybody that gets in trouble for that kind of bullshit to be killed. It's literally on public record. Show me. Show me the public record where it shows it. I love when people say dumb shit. Show me the public record. Oh, got to remove that comment real quick because you realize how stupid you sound, right?
Since Nate's doing his job, I'm going to be second player in the game. And just wait. And, just do random stuff, okay?
Whatever.
All right.
Well, if it affects his part, though.
It doesn't.
Okay. No, not everyone. Just the people that are opposing the person that is trying to get them killed. And the people that don't deny it. Right? Amazing how that works. Amazing how that works. You know, most people, you call them a pedo, they get upset. You know, they say something about it. Not you. And yet, why? Why would you be here otherwise? What is your purpose? You want to stop the guy that thinks we should kill pedos? You want to stop the guy that thinks we should cut off Israel and use all that American taxpayer dollars on America? Ooh, yeah, you must have real good reason, right? We're pedos when you're blocked in the corner with facts. Yep, with facts. Right. What facts? Again, I'm still waiting for this thing I'm supposed to look up. Where's this public record fact? And again, of course, you're too stupid to you're not denying it. This is what I'm saying. They don't come in and deny it. Oh, fuck you. We're not pedos. You fucking blah, blah, blah. They don't say anything like that. Again, why else would you be here? What's your reason for spending so much life on me? You want to stop the guy that's talking about killing pedos and and eliminating the J cult. For what reason? You aren't denying it either. What am I not denying? What am I not denying? I have a everyday profile where I actively demand the killing of pedos. Because that's something pedos do. Like, what kind of stupid... This is why I stop answering comments, right? Because it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And why are you so infuriated with who and who is not pedos? Says somebody who's got some weird shit going on. Why am I so concerned with ending children being raped? Gee, I don't know. Huh. I must be a weirdo. All those weirdos out there that don't support pedophilia, huh? I mean, this is just the stupidity I'm always talking about, guys. It's you have to see it. They're not going to come in here and be like, yeah, we're a pedo group with a bunch of J pedos that are terrified of you getting a larger voice, so we do everything we can to try to stop that. Like every desperate thing we can, because obviously we can't tell you what you're wrong about. They're not going to come in and say that. So then you have to look at their actions. You have to look at the presentation they give. When asked direct, why are you even here? What's your thing? What has you so upset that you're going to stalk me for years? I must not matter. I must not matter for you to come on my feed for years, spending hours at a time, doing everything other than the thing I say will, like, stop me. I mean, it just, does anybody, like, does that make sense? It's obvious. I'm advocating for your American tax dollars to be spent on you, not given to a pedophile, disgusting cult that's committing genocide. And you are like, no, that's a good thing. You know, you being the one that's really like a female, you just can't help but show how stupid, how inferior women are to men in this regard. My wife absolutely hates dumb girls like you. Because you make all the stereotypes seemingly true. Yeah, the dumb girl, she doesn't know very much. She gets very upset very easily. And, you know, no, she can't make any good art. Come on, she's just a dumb girl. Come on. Yeah. I never stop talking. So, you guys just want to do a thing where you're just looking at my face? Fucking stupid. Answer the questions. Notice how I actually address the things that are said. These guys never do. And of course, not one of them denies being a pedo until, you know, it's way late and they realize they've already fucked. Oh yeah, of course I don't like that. Who other than dumb Jays is going to do this kind of shit?
Edna!
You gonna give me my trash can?
Oh, sorry, sire.
That's right. I expect you to bow now. Don't forget to bow. Oh, look. No planes are flying today. Nobody's traveling anywhere today. Can you believe it? Saturday morning and nobody's flying anywhere. Not a single plane in the sky. Not a single person traveling anywhere in the world. Or at least in Michigan. Because if they were, then the perfectly normal chemtrails would be there, right? I mean, contrails. I could sit here and start talking about the fluoride in the water. How many of these dumb fucks on my page know anything about the fucking fluoride system? Or how that whole thing works? What do you think the chances are that a single fucking one of these people knows anything about it? Something that affects 72% of the American public. 72% of us have fluoridated water. Didn't vote on it. You know, had no choice in the matter. And they supposedly fluoridate the water because it might, according to one study, although other studies show it's not true, it might have a 26% chance of preventing cavities. They put a toxic waste byproduct, you know, a byproduct of fertilizer production. Fertilizer production. This toxic substance that they couldn't figure out what to do with. They had a bunch of it, and they couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't bury it because it was too toxic for all that. So they decided to start putting it in our drinking water because it might have a 26% chance of preventing cavities. I say the same thing over and over again. If I gave you a parachute and I said, this thing might have a 26% chance of opening, how many of you would take it and jump out of the plane? Nope. Here, eat this food. It might have a 26% chance of not being poisoned. Eat it. Go ahead. It's poison. No doubt. It's poison. But there's a 26% chance you might get a benefit from it. Huh?
People eat the fucking puffer fish, putting their lives in the chef's hands that they actually got the poison out.
Yeah, but that's also, there are parts of it that aren't poison. So you can get that. You're not getting the poison. You know, you have a risk of getting it, but you know, these chefs are pretty good. This is fucking poison that might have a 26% chance of being a good thing. It might. Who do you think is behind the fluoridating of the water? The Jays. 72% of the United States population drinks fluoridated water. 5% of the world's population outside the United States has it. And you're not hearing about all these other countries that have these horrible, you know, why all these other countries have so many cavity problems, blah, blah, blah. No. I mean, we've all seen fucking tribesmen, African tribesmen who smile, have these big, beautiful teeth, haven't brushed their teeth once in their life. Look at that. This guy's like, seriously, guys, we can't best him in any arguments. You guys want his phone number? You guys want this? You guys want that? Come on, guys. He's told us how to defeat him, but we can't do it. So come on, let's do anything else. We got to get more attention. What would be the purpose of it? Who would do that? Other than desperate, dumb Jays, who is going to do this? This is better than them, you know, agreeing with me. This is better than them even debunking me. This shows you exactly what we're up against. Oops. Fluoride is good for teeth, LOL. I don't want my kids to have meth mouth. That just shows you how stupid people are. So, good old Morris here, he knows, right? You're worried about fluoride and yellow teeth and rotten mouth from drugs, right? Again, just, you don't know what you're talking, just admit it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm literally giving you guys like percentages and shit. Like this is the actual knowledge that you just don't have. And you're too stupid to see it. Yeah. Might have a 26% chance of preventing cavities. It might have a 36% chance of preventing baby teeth cavities. So, you know, buy that water that's for babies with the extra fluoride in it. Because it might have a 36% chance of preventing cavities. Like it's just phenomenal. It's just, and it's that same stupidity. You talk about any subject. You know, go back to the whole government thing, right? You're given two choices for the most part. They're going to slap you with the left hand or slap you with the right hand. Now I'm getting text messages because that makes sense. Can you imagine that shit? Babies don't use toothpaste. I'm older than you. I have white teeth. I go to dental all the time. Called brushing and flossing. Can't brush with a bowl or a What is this? Like, what argument? This person actually thought that would be a good argument? How the fuck? How are such stupid people? These people vote. Like, if you believe voting works and it matters, these are the people that are voting. To think that someone so stupid could have any effect over your life, that should bother you. Fucking stupid. Your baby teeth are supposed to fall out, you dumbass. Nobody has their baby teeth when they're adults. I got some old cat lady on here telling me she knows about. Come on.
What does she know about?
You can't brush your teeth with a bowl or a blunt. Right, that's a fucking good argument, isn't it? What's even worse is it comes from Wikipedia. Right. Where is the source that you're supposed to look up? What source would you say is okay? Because Wikipedia is what you're supposed to know. Wikipedia is provided by the government. There are plenty of things you can't edit, but on the things you can edit, if you do edit it, and it sends the signal to whoever, and then the human monitors will go check your edit. And if your edit doesn't fit the narrative, they get rid of it. If you can even do that. Yeah, no, Wikipedia is not okay. If I go to if I'm a kid at school and I have a book report due and I use Wikipedia as my source, my teacher's going to be like, man, can't use Wikipedia. Look how stupid you are. Insults are weak. I don't need to do anything. You do it for me. It's all good. I remember when they post. Right. Because again, I tell you that everything on Wikipedia is 100% true. Like I go to great lengths to say every time that that's what they want us to believe. Nowhere am I telling you that it's true. It's definitely not true that fluoride might give you a 26% chance of preventing cavities. That's not true. But that's what you're supposed to know. That's what you're supposed to regurgitate. Well, actually, you're not even supposed to know that. You're just supposed to think fluoride helps your teeth. And you have to think like it is a toxic waste. It's a fluoride. It comes from fertilizer production. It's the shit that they can't use after they produce fertilizer. It's the garbage that should be put into our drinking water. Like, what kind of dumbass clown would argue that? It's one thing to say, oh, I didn't know that was what it was, and I didn't know it was only a 26% chance, might be a 26% chance. I didn't know those things. That's fucked up. That's one thing. But to know that that's what it is, you know it comes from fertilizer production. You know it's the garbage that comes from fertilizer production. And all you got to do is look, and it'll show you 20... Guess We'll show you. We'll show you because I know you're too lazy to fucking learn. And water. Oh, water. I guess it would be water fluoridation is what I should look up. Wow, it's weird how hard it is to get this to pop up. Water fluoridation. Let's see. Is the controlled addition of fluoride to public water supplies to reduce tooth decay. That's all. They don't even claim it does anything else. They only claim it reduces tooth decay, right? This is called reading. Fluoridated water maintains fluoride levels effective for cavity prevention, achieved naturally or through supplementation. Natural fluoride being added to the water. Bottled water may be carbonated or not, with packing sizes ranging from small single-serving bottles to large... Oh, wait, that went bottled water, sorry. In the mouth, fluoride shows tooth enamel demineralization and slows tooth enamel demineralization and enhances remineralization in early stage cavities. Defluoridation is necessary when natural fluoride exceeds recommended limits. The WHO recommends fluoride levels of 0.5 to 1.5 mgs per liter depending on climate and other factors. In the US, the recommended level has been 0.7 mgs per liter since 2015, lowered from 1.2 mgs per liter. Why do you think they lowered it? Tooth decay affects 60 to 90% of school children worldwide. It has nothing to do with poor brushing habits or dietary habits. No. Or genetics. But you know, we know that kids are famous for brushing their teeth really well. Right? Kids are really great teeth brushers. And kids don't eat a hell of a lot more sugar and candy and shit like that than most adults do. Not all, but most. Nah. That wouldn't contribute to tooth decay. It's fluoride. Fluoride is the fixer of all. Fluoride reduces cavities in children with Cochrane reviews. This the one study. Ready? So here we go. It's me not showing my source. I'm making it up as I go. I'm so good at this, I can make it up as I go. Fluoride reduces cavities in children with Cochrane reviews estimating reductions of 35% in baby teeth and 26% in permanent teeth when no other fluoride sources are available, though efficiency in adults is less clear. Huh. See how I make that shit up? 26%? Didn't I make that up? I made that up, right? Made that up? I love the dumbass that's here on almost all of my feeds talking shit, complaining about jobs. Said it time and time again. I don't work. I drink all day. I eat all the meth. I smoke all the crack. I beat my wife. I beat my children. I kick my dogs and cats. I do all that shit. Does that make fluoridating water any less or more effective? How would anything I do personally affect you more than the fluoridated water you're forced to drink? Who is going to be more concerned with me than they are the toxic waste byproduct that's being forced on them and their families? How does that even work? You know? I mean, it's amazingly stupid. The United States was the first country to engage in water fluoridation, and 72% of their population now drinks fluoridated water as of 2022. I think I said 72%, didn't I? Globally, 5.4% of people receive fluoridated water. Oh, I didn't say 5.4. I said 5%. So I guess that 0.4% actually makes a huge difference. Receive fluoridated water, though its use remains rare in Europe except in Ireland and parts of Spain. Let's see. If I can find where there's the production. Gold. Is that we have to look up fluoride. That's what it is. Water fluoridation isn't going to talk. You have to look at fluoride. Fluoride is an inorganic. That means it's in the organic realm, right? Inorganic.
No, it means it's fucking fake. It's manufactured. It's synthetically created.
What? Is an inorganic monatomic anion of fluoride with the chemical formula F to the minus, whose salts are typically white or colorless. Fluoride salts typically have distinctive bitter taste, are odorless. The salts and minerals are important chemical reagents in industry chemicals. Fluoride is classified, blah, blah, blah. Fluoride is classified as a weak base since it only partially associates in solution, but concentrated fluoride is corrosive and can attack the skin. Don't worry, it's watered way down. Application. Why can't I find the fucking production? It's really weird that I can't find where it comes from. I know I read it. It's really strange. Soluble fluoride salts, of which sodium fluoride is most common, are toxic and have resulted in both accidental and self-inflicted deaths from acute poisoning. The lethal dose for most adult humans is an estimated 5 to 10 grams, which is the equivalent to 32 to 64 mg elemental fluoride per kg body weight. A case of a fatal poisoning of an adult with 4 grams of sodium fluoride is documented. 4 grams. And a dose of 120 grams of sodium fluoride has been survived.
That just goes to show how different all of our bodies are.
So suddenly, we actually have somebody that works in water fluoridation that just showed up on the page.
Oh.
That's believable. I work in water testing and tested drinking water for fluoride using ion. Blah, blah, blah. The amount of fluoride in DW is generally less than 0.4 mg, which is well below unsafe levels to drink. Because they said so. They said it's okay for you to drink this absolutely toxic poison as long as it's really watered down, because it might have a 26% chance of preventing cavities in adults.
Well, I mean, you should inject bleach to get rid of COVID.
That's true. That's true. Injecting bleach or some sort of light. Well, can't we just inject bleach? He was just joking when he said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. The water testing guy just happens to show up. Gotcha. So stupid. Like you claim I have a workman's comp claim. How did I get a workman's comp claim if not only do I not work, I didn't work and didn't work hard enough to be able to make enough money that could work? How does that work? Seems like you're trying to play both sides there. But whatever. It's the dumb girl, so is it that surprising? It's amazing, man. It's amazing to me that they have that the same people that convince you that genocide is okay, that it's not that big a deal, that they keep getting caught raping children. They've also convinced you that putting toxic waste byproduct into your body is good. It's good for your teeth. It's good for your teeth. How do you think they ever figured that out?
They didn't. It's a fucking lie.
No, they were like, here, okay, so let's
Told us to put poison in our water.
let's put bleach in the water. Let's see, does that affect your teeth? No. Let's put horse shit in the water. Does that affect teeth? Does that make no? Let's put any other toxic waste byproducts into the water and see how that does that affect teeth? Does that make no? Oh, let's try fluoride. That might work. You know how fucking dumb you have to be? You know, it's all the same stupidity. It's just compounded, and it comes from so many different places and in so many different ways that you start to see it, and then when you see it everywhere, and you see everybody else just playing along, you go, okay, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Listening to these two bouncing ideas off each other is more dangerous to your health than fluoride. So, my wife and I talking is more dangerous to your health than the thing that you ingest without, yep. This is how stupid people are. It's really kind of like sad and, you know, like how did you ever get that stupid? Did you not go to school? I mean, do you have like bad parents? Like genetics, you know, is this, how is anyone that stupid? Especially somebody that comes here every day and watches every day for hours on end. Like I said, what these guys do is more valuable to me than if they were here telling me I'm right. They only exist on my feed because I allow them to. And even though if I block them, they just make another profile because I don't matter so much. That's pointless. It shows you how, like, it's so much more effective than if they came in here and told me I was right, or came in here and even debunked or tried to debunk me. The fact that they know they're going to get their asses kicked, so they just stay out of the ring and yell little stupid insults from this. It's like, you ever watch old wrestling? Old, Mid-South or whatever, where you'd have all these white people in the crowd and they'd be super amped up, and you'd see like the little old ladies who have their special seat in the front. They never miss a show, and they just, yeah, screw you, Barry Windham. Screw you, Ted DiBiase. Yeah. It's what this is. If Ted were to say, all right, come on in the ring, let's see how you do, they'd be like, oh no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not capable of that. But I can yell insults from the sidelines. Desperately trying to find anything you can. Given the key, I've given it to you. I've given you the game genie. You know, the game shouldn't be a challenge because you don't even have to figure it out. I have given you the weakness. I've given you the thing that's going to, that will literally stop me from going live. Like, I'll quit going live if you guys do it. And instead, nope, you can't. If I was wrong about anything, they absolutely would try. But how do you? How can you? How can you? You literally just have nothing to say. It's just stupid. Yep, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a good source. I should be using other sources. I don't know. Here, let's do this. Ready? Where is it? Wikipedia. We'll look up the, how do you spell Cochrane? No, we won't even look up Wikipedia. We'll look up Cochrane. C-H-O-C. Cochrane fluoride study. We're going to the Cochrane page. Water fluoridation less effective now than in past. I mean, I don't even know how far I'm supposed to read into this. I mean, this is all just dumb shit. Like, the team of researchers from the University of Manchester, Dundee, and wait. Cochrane water fluoride, you see? I don't show my sources. I just make it up as I go. Dundee and I reviewed the evidence from 150 studies which compared communities that had fluoride added to their water and with their water supplies with communities that had no additional fluoride added. They found that the benefit of fluoridation has declined since the 70s when fluoride toothpaste became more widely available. So then why do we do it? If we get enough from our toothpaste and other sources, then why would we continue to put
What are those other sources?
byproducts? Because natural fluoride does occur, and it's in products. You know, it's in plants and it's in food and all that shit. But natural fluoride is not inorganic toxic waste byproduct. And it's toxic waste byproduct. They could name it anything they fucking want. You drink tap water like a fucking moron. Says a text message because I'm getting text messages. Fluoride used in many commercially available toothpaste and varnishes is known to reduce tooth decay. Governments in many countries have added fluoride to the drinking water supply to improve population oral health, although there are polarized views on whether this is the right action to take. Results from the studies conducted after 1975 suggested that the initiation of water fluoridation schemes may lead to slightly less tooth decay in children's baby teeth. Analysis of these studies, covering a total of 2,908 children. Boy, that's not very many.
Teeth, the teeth that fall out?
Yeah, again,
you don't keep permanently?
The teeth that aren't brushed as well, that you know, they eat a bunch of shit, blah, blah, blah. They keep things in their mouth longer than they should. They put all kinds of crazy things in their mouth. Yeah. But this study covered 2,908 children in the UK and Australia. 3,000 people out of 8 billion people is not very many. Estimates that fluoridation may lead to, on average, of 0.24 fewer decayed baby teeth per child. 0.24, not 2.4. Like 0.24% of something. If I gave you a sandwich and I was like, this is a big piece of shit, but 0.24% of it's ham, how many of you would still call that shit a ham sandwich? Dude, it has 2.4 or 0.24% ham. It's fine, just eat it. No, it's shit. No, not all of it. Yeah, 99.76% of it is shit, but still. However, the estimate of effect comes with uncertainty, meaning it's possible that the more recent schemes have no benefit. By comparison, an analysis of studies with 5,708 children conducted in 1995 or earlier estimated that fluoridation reduced the number of decayed baby teeth on average by 2.1 per child. 2 out of the what? 20 something? How could you begin to test for that? Yeah, 2%, 0.2, all these are numbers that are chance. I was talking about the Amazing Randy a couple weeks ago, but the Amazing Randy created a challenge, and it was $1 million prize for anyone that could show provable, psychic. They can find water with their rod. They can talk to dead people. Whatever magic powers people claim to have, they offered them $1 million if they could prove it. This challenge, it wasn't always $1 million. It was $1,000 back in like the 60s when it was first started. But this shit had been going on for decades, and not one person claimed the prize. And what they did was they would agree to, Randy would sit with the person making the claim and say, okay, what is your powers? Okay, how can we test that? What if we do this, can we do this? And they would agree to some sort of protocol and say they had 10, they had to get, there were 10 choices. They had to get 8 of them right to prove that they had some sort of powers. And there was always the given, you might get 2, maybe 3 by chance. And every single one of them, for the most part, would get 1 or 2 of them by chance. When you're talking about, 2 teeth out of how many baby teeth the kids have? 20? Something like that. This is chance. This isn't science. This is fucking chance. The same contemporary studies conducted after 1975 also looked at the number of children with no decay in their baby teeth. The analysis found that fluoridation may increase the number of children with no tooth decay by 3 percentage points. Again, with the possibility of no benefit. You mean 97% chance of no benefit.
Yes.
And they even write it like this, by 3 percentage points. So you don't see it for what it is.
Right.
So you don't see 3%. You don't see that. You read the number, it makes it seem bigger. The review was only able to draw conclusions about the impact on children's teeth with similar findings across both baby and permanent teeth. There were no studies with adults that met the review's criteria. Now, what I'm not going to get credit for here is the fact that, again, listening to the feed, because, I'm making it up. Wikipedia wasn't a good enough source. Wikipedia, who actually kind of made it look better. Wikipedia quoted the Cochrane study, which seems to be the only real study ever done. Like, you would think putting toxic waste byproduct in our water would be something where it's continuously tested and much, much larger sample sizes and all, because this is a pretty fucking important thing. But I came here and I could have come here and I could have read it and it could have just destroyed me. I could have looked like the biggest dumbass in the world. This study says 97% chance of good, while chance of nothing happening. It could have been that way, Scoomy. Yeah, sure. But as always, that's not how it works.
Oh, it did?
That's not how things work. But again, I'm not going to get the credit for doing what you guys won't do, which is running into the burning building to try to find survivors. I'm going in, I could be getting my ass kicked here. And I don't. Instead, I'm right. The evidence suggests that water fluoridation may slightly reduce tooth decay in children. says co-author Dr. Lucy O'Malley, senior lecturer in health services research at the University of Manchester. Conspiracy theorist. Given that the benefit has reduced over time before introducing a new fluoridation scheme, careful thought needs to be given to cost, accessibility, feasibility, and ongoing monitoring. Gosh, she must be a crazy conspiracy theorist. Advocates have suggested that one of the key benefits of water fluoridation is that it reduces oral health inequities. This updated review sought to examine this question and did not find enough evidence to support this claim, although it doesn't necessarily mean there is no effect. Can't find the evidence for it, but can find the evidence to the contrary, but the review's findings accord with recent observational studies, including the Lotus study, which compared anonymized dental records with water fluoridation status for 6.4 million adults and adolescents in England between 2010 and 20. People in fluoridated areas needed slightly fewer invasive dental treatments with no significant impact on inequities. Contemporary evidence using different research methodologies suggests that the benefit of fluoridating waters have declined in recent decades, says Tanya Walsh, professor of healthcare evaluation at the University of Manchester, co-author on both the Cochrane Review and the Lotus study. Oral health inequities are an urgent public health issue that demands action. Water fluoridation is only one option and not necessarily the most appropriate for all populations. I wonder why. Whilst water fluoridation can lead to small improvements in oral health, it does not address the underlying issues such as high sugar consumption and inadequate oral health behaviors. Not brushing well and the sugar, says co-author Janet Clarkson, professor of clinical effectiveness, University of Dundee. It is likely that any oral health preventative program needs to take a multifaceted, multi-agency approach. That's the end. That's the Cochrane study, because Wikipedia wasn't good enough. It really is amazing, man. And this is just one example of it. I mean, it's the same ruse, If they arrest people and they do all this revenue generation, that somehow affects crime rates, and just, it's not true. You could send a pedo to prison for 2 years in a completely protected wing, and yada yada yada, and that's gonna stop them from being pedos. The Jays, October 7th. They lied. It's a lie. There were no Jays killed on October 7th. Or taken hostage. The Jays are the victims because around 1100 people were killed in Israel. People were killed in Israel, not Israelis. People were killed in Israel. So, fucking A, genocide, man. Well, they are God's chosen people, so we shouldn't talk bad about them. Well, God promised them the land in the Bible. So, that makes sense. Doesn't make sense, but hey, we'll just go with it. It's the same fucking nonsense, man. It's the same, ruse. I don't know what else. It's a trick. They're tricking us. The same people are tricking us in the same ways across the board. And then they come here, they have their bots come here, their Team Jorge bots come here and do everything they can but address the thing, that shit being said. And they tried. Wikipedia is not very good. You can't get your information with Wikipedia. So I went and looked even further. I went and read the direct fucking page from the direct study, the blah, blah, the direct people involved who say it doesn't do shit. So why are we doing it? Every study that they do shows it's completely ineffective for the most part. But we still do it? All of you in that are in the States, more than likely you're drinking this poison. And we're talking about a society that has so many fucking problems. Cancers and weight issues and all of these insane, crazy things that are going on that didn't used to exist. I don't think we actually talk about this enough. Like people talk about, go look at pictures of people at the beach in the 70s and 80s and the 60s, and there's not fat people, and we always want to blame it on the food and whatnot, but what about the fluoride they really started introducing? It says a lot, man. I literally was trying to talk to you about water fluoridation with my water testing knowledge, and you just brush it off after my first comment. Can you blame me? Do you see what I get? You weren't talking about water fluoridation. You weren't telling people how bad it is. You don't know these things. As a water person, you should have known these things. You should be up here, telling these people these things before me. You should be the ones saying, hey, I work in water testing and this shit is poison. I don't know why. You're talking about its safe levels. It's okay as long as it's in safe levels. Well, not all the Jays commit genocide. Not all the Jays rape children, so it's okay. That cult's allowed to exist. It's not all of them. That's that attitude. Yeah. How long? Like an hour?
It's incredible. It takes a long time.
Is it like an hour?
No.
What do you think it is? Like 20 minutes? Wait, Nathan, stop. Nathan, stop. Is it like 20 minutes, Nick?
No.
Is it like 10 minutes?
No.
5 minutes?
Yes.
You have to wait 5 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
And then he thought it was a good idea to say F you to me. Like a good brother.
I mean, any more of that shit and you're in your room, dude. Oh. I was talking about dosages and the differences between organic and inorganic molecules. You just press it up. Yeah, of course I'm going to. You're saying it's okay because not all the Jays rape children. Even though they all support the raping of children, they don't all do it, so that makes it okay. You want to sit here and talk about semantics and, don't give a shit. Fluoride shouldn't be in our water. Other than the naturally occurring, nothing should be added to our water. Nathan! It's just crazy, man. And it's just like there shouldn't be fluoride in the water. We shouldn't accommodate this fucking cult. We shouldn't accommodate a cult that commits genocide, that rapes people, that cuts and sucks baby penises. Even if it's their own people's baby penises. No. What? Okay, you know what? Turn the game off.
No.
No, you guys can't make it work. Turn it off.
Stop, Nate. No, we can.
Well, it doesn't sound like it.
You just do what you want.
Nate, it can't be your way.
I know.
So what's the issue?
Nothing. It's just me. Finish. I said it's just me.
Oh, so you're doing that thing again.
I'm used to it.
So what?
I've been first player.
So what? Does it matter?
Yes.
How?
I know. Because I get confused. Like when you...
Okay, stop getting confused.
I don't care anymore.
Well, I wish you would have not cared 5 minutes ago before all this crap had to happen. Oh. You know, again, I'm exhausted after doing this. You know, it's all interesting, but I walk away from yet another feed where I had the open challenge. You come tell me what I'm wrong about, and not a single person stepped up. Which only shows that I'm not wrong. 3 hours. People have been on here because they hate me so much for 3 hours. Because that makes sense. That's how things work. Real quickly, we're going to do one last piece of education. Again, going back to the sources. But here, we'll pull up news. And you can see Team Jorge News over. Oh wait, we gotta put in Israel because it'll bring up Mexicans for some reason. Team Jorge News 2023 February. The Guardian, People's Dispatch, The Haaretz, DW, Organized Crime and Corruption Report, National Herald, The Guardian, Palestine Chronicle, Le Monde, Wyon, Middle East Eye, Computing UK, Asia Public Security Magazine, VOA Africa, The Haaretz again, Guardian again, Organized Crime and Corruption again, Middle East Eye, The Guardian, Le Monde, The Guardian, Daily Sabah, and the Haaretz is the J's. Orient, All Israel News, Israeli-led team of disinformation experts exposed by undercover investigative reporters. See that? Right there. So again, I know I'm not doing it right. You're not doing things the right way. But Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm-run social media disinformation campaigns to manipulate outcomes of elections. Right? They can manipulate the outcomes of elections, meaning interfering with a YouTube feed is probably small potatoes. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. The group was exposed in 2023 after an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from Israel and France as part of a consortium of investigative journalists coordinated by Forbidden Stories. The organization has been active since at least 2015 and boasts of having manipulated 33 presidential elections worldwide, many of them in Africa, and in 27 cases with successful results. Okay, Nathan, if he's in the middle of doing something, then Nathan, don't interrupt me. If he's in the middle of doing something, then you have to do what he wants to do as well.
Dad, the game just X'd out on us. It's 12 o'clock. We've been playing this game since 11. Yeah, but we're in the middle of searching for one. So we're doing something in
Okay,
Incredibles.
Nate, then Nate, it sounds like you're the one that's the big problem here. So why don't you stop playing? What? I heard that part already. I heard that part already too.
We're in the middle of finding.
Okay, Nate, were you in the middle of looking at it before the game cut off?
No, we just, because Nate just saved and quitted it again because he wanted to be first player. Since he wanted to be first player, so then now it just X'd out on us again. But we're in the middle of looking for something. We're in the middle.
Okay, Nathan, Nathan, why can't you do what he wants to do?
Yeah, but
it doesn't sound like it.
He hasn't helped me. I've been in the water the entire hour. No, you were trying to kill me.
Okay. So why can't you continue till you find the thing?
It's gonna take a long time.
Okay, so.
Nope, he just said yes, it is.
I know, but so what? If you can't play together, you can't play. Their activities were revealed following a 2022 sting operation in Tel Aviv carried about 3 undercover journalists who posed as prospective clients and filmed their interactions with Tal Hanan, the group's leader and former Israeli Special Forces operative, in which he explained the inner workings of the organization. Tal Hanan used the pseudonym Jorge when working with the hacking and disinformation group, which inspired the name Team Jorge. According to Tal Hanan, the group's leader, Team Jorge has existed for more than 2 decades and has been engaged in propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries. However, its first documented activity dates back to 2015. Their services have been available to government intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. Again, not something you can actually look up. The software automates centralized control of thousands of fake social media profiles on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Telegram, TikTok, and others like YouTube. The group also employs hacking techniques to brute force accounts of potential victims. Sounds kind of familiar. But hey, what do I know? I'm just lying. I'm just lying and making things up, and then all these people are just here for we don't really know why. But it's not because they're Team Jorge. It's not because they're trying to stop us from talking about this stuff. Black Cube. Black Cube is a private intelligence agency based in London, Tel Aviv, and Madrid. The company was founded in 2010 by former Israeli intelligence officers. God, that's weird. Dan Zarella and Avi Yanis. Its employees include former members of Israeli intelligence units. In the past, it has supported Israeli defense activities. Black Cube provides intelligence, evidence, and advisory services in multi-jurisdictional legal and white-collar crime cases. Their clients are mainly wealthy individuals, oligarchs, and global corporations. Black Cube represents their clients in court cases, manages public relations, and assists in other matters as needed. I really don't know how else I can prove all this shit to you guys. Other than reading what we're supposed to know, doing the thing that you guys won't do, I don't really get it. You know? Other than going, not just reading the Wikipedia narrative, then going to the actual, the page that the website of the company that does the fluoridation study and reading it. Like, what else can you do? How else where else are you supposed to find the information? And then disseminating it on YouTube and inviting people to tell me what I'm wrong about. How else is that supposed to happen? Give me some other option. Oh, look. Fucking fake Tommy Robinson profile. That piece of shit racist. He is talking nonsense. So reading what you're supposed to read, knowing about things like Israeli black ops, it's nonsense. Water fluoridation, that's nonsense. 20 might have 26% chance of affecting, that's nonsense. Actually, it's more like 3%, that's nonsense. Just making it all up, says this dumb pedo piece of shit, you know, dumb J fucking Israeli supporter. It's just amazing how desperate you guys are for him to read your comment, but you're making fun of him, so it's fun. Making fun of? How am I being made fun of because I'm smarter than you? Oh no, dumb people are saying dumb shit. And all it does is further the thing. Like I say, it's better than you guys coming in and agreeing. It's better than you guys debunking me. It's you saying that if you could say something, you would, but you can't, so you're going to say dumb shit. I mean, it's just brilliant. I couldn't make this any better. Other than removing whatever the censorship wall is, I couldn't make it any better. But, as always, I encourage you to go watch Hollywoodism, which is the end-all, be-all, tells you everything you need to know, explains it all to you very, very clearly, which there will be the link in the description as well as a link to the website, www.the-bilderberg-group.com, where you can get your free download. Whole bunch of great songs there. You can also check out our Facebook page. There will be a link in there as well that allows you to check out our music videos and all kinds of good stuff. So, yeah, like I say this every day, like, all of you trolls so desperate for my attention, so desperate to get me to stop doing what I'm doing and all that shit, go educate yourself. Go find, better arguments to what I'm saying, and come back tomorrow and debunk me. Maybe even later. You never know. Sit by your computer and wait to see if I go live so you can come back later. But just understand that I'm giving you everything you need. Let's just see how good you are. I know that dumb girl's not going to do anything. Tommy Robinson's just a dumb bitch. There's nothing you can do. I know a lot of these are just dumb, cowardly Jays, and they're just desperate. So I can't wait to see what kind of amazing, really good arguments you come up with. So go get your free download. Go watch Hollywoodism. Go watch Hollywoodism. It's so important. Go watch Hollywoodism. And you pedophiles, you just kill yourself.